I had a blue microphone. So.
Facts. Do they even make those? Okay,
now I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah. Now I have to. Now it's just mandated.
A little bit of acrylic paint never hurt nobody.
You're right.
That's true.
Right?
You got a drink and everything? You're good with drinks?
I brought 2 drinks. You know, because sometimes
Double fisted.
yeah, obviously.
I do that too. I come with a
Let's call
beverage.
a spade here.
Sometimes your body needs water, but sometimes it needs electrolytes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So I double down.
I like to have one for hydration, one for fun.
Yeah. That's I kind of like tripled down because on the way up I bought a Mountain Dew. I was like, well, I'm gonna need soda, and I'm gonna need water, and then I'm gonna need the Gatorade because it just makes the most sense that way.
You didn't stop at Dunkin's?
I wanted to. It was right there.
So I peeped. We were talking about this earlier. We peeped the basic white girl little bit that you did. I was like, I have to mention this.
Yeah.
At least a little bit.
So that was
I was like, yeah.
Everybody knows, everybody who knows me knows that I like that. And they don't even call it coffee. They're just like, oh, do you want some cream and sugar?
yeah.
So,
exactly.
So what was it? It was yesterday. I had that, what is it, 1-800-GOT-JUNK or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
I had them
yeah.
come to the crib because I had a bunch of stuff I needed to throw out. And I'm like, nah, the trash guys will never take this. So dude calls me, we're talking, and he seems like a nice guy. And I'm like, oh, I bet. And he's like, you drink coffee? And I was like, why? He's like, I'm just letting you know I'm gonna pass a Mary Lou's, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a Honeydew. What do you like? And I'm like, I like Dunkin' Donuts. He's like, what kind of coffee do you like? Large, ice, French vanilla, extra. And he starts dying laughing. He's like, good, that's what I drink. I'll get you one of them.
Oh, Sam, let's go.
I'm like, let's go, baby.
That's big, man.
Yep.
That's big. That's beautiful. Not only did he stop to get you dunks, but also he had the same exact order.
100%.
What a
100%.
sincere human. That was a really
I
nice
loved
gesture.
him.
Yeah.
I mean, he swindled the shit out of me when he got there. And I knew he was going to do that. And I was fine with it because I didn't have to leave my house, like, physically. Right. So he's like, most people, need to give a tip at the end. And there's like a button you can hit, and it's like, no, 10, 15, 20.
Oh,
he's like,
I hate when they do that.
Right? And he's like, 20 is like the standard.
Oh,
I'm just
my
like,
goodness.
I'm like, you know what, bro? You got me a coffee. I'm with it. 20%. Here you go. Thank you very much. You have a great damn day. I was cool.
Yeah, right?
I mean, I guess I'm not gonna. It worked.
It totally worked. But yeah, I'm definitely a basic white girl when it comes to.
I heard that and I was like, that's exactly what I
like,
used to get in high school.
I get it every morning. That's how I start my day.
I used to get, was it large or extra large? It might have.
Oh, like the Big Daddy coffees.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
no, hold on.
The ones you get in Cumbies for 99 cents.
Listen, let me finish.
Right.
Let me finish.
Sorry.
So you know how like a regular is what, like 3 creams, 3 sugars?
I don't know. I've never.
Yes.
I've only.
Yeah, like I know. It's
I don't
just
know.
extra, extra.
I went right to the Terminator.
I used to get 7 and 7.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think an extra is like 5 and 5, 6 and 6.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I went right for 7.
Damn.
And just yeah. I'm like, what coffee?
Never had coffee before. I'm just gonna
Exactly.
just keep hitting it until it looks good.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, that works.
Yeah, that was, I don't know. And then I've realized how bad that was. Like 7 and 7 is an extreme.
Oh yeah, nah, you were
Extra,
probably
extra,
like
yeah.
ping ponging off the
yeah,
wall and
yeah.
shit. You're like, yeah, I'm awake. Let's go.
Yeah.
12 o'clock, you were napping.
Oh, 100%. Because
Yeah.
when I worked at Enterprise Rent Car, so we had to drive around all day. So
You got to be on alert.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Can't
Yeah.
crash a car. I had somebody. Funny story before we actually get into it. So we're cleaning a car, and this dude was, and I don't care if people smoke, whatever, but this dude was too high, right, for working.
That's a real thing,
And so he cleans the car. We're rushing because like my boss is like, we need this car right now. So we're like jumping, cleaning everything, trying to get it ready.
Yep.
This fool leaves the back door open. So it's in a bay, mind you.
Yep.
Leaves the door open, backs it out, looks over. Guess what's next to him? Yeah, the back door.
Yeah, bro.
Folded in.
See ya.
Looking at him, he's just like, Tim, there's something wrong with the door.
Right? Yeah. I may have fucked up a little.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. I think he got and I think the policy was like 3 car accidents and then like you're out.
3?
Yeah.
You get 3?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ah.
Yeah.
Are they hiring?
Right?
No, that was one of my most favorite jobs. Because we said this on another pod and here, but just we got to drive like all the cars, like Mustangs, like Mercedes, Caddies.
Right.
Sick.
I had a G35 that I drove from Nashville all the way down to Lexington.
What? Oh my god! I'd be looking for all the beaches and just slowly pull up like, "What up, bitch?"
We were doing burnouts. We would do burnouts in the cars, like just stupid stuff.
That's dope.
That's
Stupid
awesome.
stuff. But it was so much fun.
That's dope.
How's everybody? How's everybody? Everybody's good. Like, how's the vibe?
Yeah.
And everybody.
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
What's coming up for everybody? Like, I'm curious to know what's happening in the lives of everybody.
So I'm working on an album still. Well, a couple projects actually, like a full length, and the second one might be an EP or a full length. They'll probably end up being a full length, but I mean, I'm just writing, recording.
Good.
Anything
Stay
like
with that.
Anything you got
And
going
in
on?
the process.
I am performing at that storytelling showcase at the end of the month, April 29th at the Luna Theater at the Town and City Festival.
Dope.
Because you're the 28th, right?
28th.
Okay, so yes, I'm doing that. I am speaking at a Take Back the Night rally. They do like a Take Back the Night event in Lowell. So I'll be doing that the same week. And other than that, I'm just kind of still working on like writing and getting more comfortable with that, getting into the flow of that. Deciding like branding myself is very new and trying to like
Yeah, yo.
Like, now you preaching.
for me, like acting is my world, and that's usually like where I'm at. So presenting myself now and as just me as a personality instead of hiding behind that like, well, I'm an actor is very different.
For sure.
It's exciting. It's new. So so just trying to like work those details out.
For sure.
I'm interested in the branding part. I'll say stuff, but I would love to touch back on the branding part.
For sure. Definitely.
I really don't know what I'm not working on right now.
Now you're preaching. Now you're preaching.
Geez, man. Every day I wake up and I feel like I have about 15,000 things that I have to do in 5 hours, right? Yeah, right. So the time crunch, there's only so many hours in a day, and you got to sleep at some point. But definitely working on an album.
Yep.
Already have the concept. Already have the name. I have all of that put together. I have a few producers in mind.
Okay.
Great.
Kind of like I'm weighing like, do I want features? Do I not want features?
Yeah.
If I
That's
do,
what I am on my next one.
It's like, because when people buy an album from you, they typically want to hear you, right? They bought your album.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and then sometimes you get people who put out albums and it's like, you put out a mixtape. Like you have so many different artists on here that it kind of just sounds like a collective project instead of your thing, So that's so right now I'm kind of struggling with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, working on an album. Been trying to stay consistent with releasing singles and videos, behind the scenes work.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
seen a lot of that. Which is dope. I love stuff like that.
So here's the thing. Somebody had to like literally tell me that for me to understand.
No, for sure though, for sure. Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean? Like I'm putting out, like, you're right? Like
I have the content, everything's coming out. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, here's the music, here's the video. What else do you want? And people were like literally hitting me up, like, I want to see how the video was made. I want to see the behind the scene on the photo shoot. What went through your head when you wrote this? And I'm like, you want to hear me talk about that?
Right.
They like that shit more sometimes than the actual product itself, and that blew my mind.
Yeah, the purpose behind it is the biggest thing.
Yeah, they wanna. It's so different now with all this. I mean, not like social media is new, streaming's not new, but I feel like we're going into a phase in the creative process where it's going to be more so focused on like community based, building your community.
Yeah,
we would once call it a fan base. I feel like now it's going to be a community because you can't just put things out and people consume it. They want to know about your life, where you're from, your struggles. They want to know everything.
They want to know how you made that video. Now it's like you said, people put out videos. I see it all the time, like on TikTok. Is someone will put up a video, and then like 3 videos later, they'll be like, oh, they'll have, you know, the comment right above it, and they'll be like, show me how you made that video. And then they'll be like, I did this. And then they'll do the whole tutorial.
Right. And people are like, oh, that's dope. And I'm like, okay. People like that shit. That's crazy. You know? Because I'm just not used to it. Like, we didn't get that. Like, when we were growing up listening to music, you got the final product.
Yeah.
That was it.
And that's great because like people then see like what actually goes into it. It's not, you know, it's a lot more than like what it's cracked up to be. But,
You're like, oh wow, that, and like even when you give them a behind the scenes sneak peek, like you're giving them what, 30 seconds, a minute,
right?
Like okay, it took me like 3 weeks to write that song. It took me 6 hours to make that beat. It took me 4 hours to shoot it.
2-3
right? 10 days to edit it.
Yeah.
Like you know, this 3-minute thing took me like a month to put together, and I need to figure out how I can take a month and crunch that into 60 seconds so you can see what I did.
Yeah. I don't think people still don't realize the amount of time that it takes even to put a song together.
It's so
I don't think people realize.
It really is, because like I did a and I forget who the interview was with, but I did an interview, and that's terrible to say, I'm sorry. But I did an interview recently, and you know, one of the questions was if you could give advice to an artist who's thinking about putting out music or already is, what would you say to them? And I try to keep it as basic as possible. And I said, when you're in the studio, think like an artist, right? When you release music, think like a business.
Yeah. There's a difference. There's different processes that go into it. You can have a product, right? Just like anything, you can have a product, but if you don't know how to sell it, then you're dead in the water.
Exactly. Like, and that's the problem. And like the thing that I've been noticing more and more, because again, social media and even like, you know, putting a studio in your house is like so common now. You can just like do it. You know what I mean? You don't really need a lot to put out an okay sounding product anymore. They're just like, oh, cool. So this is what I do. I write the song, I record it, I put it out, and I become TikTok famous, and that's it.
Yeah, they think it's that's the only the 5 steps.
That's it. That's it. That's all you got to do. You just got to put it out, and then the people are just going to be like, oh, dude, you're awesome. And you're gonna get 1 million likes, and I really wish it worked like that.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And that's why when you were talking about branding, I was like, the thing that nobody really wants to talk about is branding. Yeah, because it's a difficult concept to grasp. So, you know, for me personally, it's like, okay, you got to take it into consideration. Who am I? Right? Who do I think I am? And then how do they perceive me? Because you got to balance it, because you don't want to put out something that's fake. You know what I mean? You don't want to be a gimmick. Right. Right?
People call you out.
Oh my God, they will. You know,
they're looking for it. They're like,
they're like,
here it is.
It's just a waste of time to do that, I feel, though.
It is, but it's like you look at a lot of music now in the mainstream, especially like in hip hop. It's very watered down. It's very bubble gum. It's very, you know, I have big bright purple hair. Look at me and my face tattoos, and they don't really have any talent. You know, they don't.
I love that we're talking about this stuff.
You know, no, I'll shut up now. You go.
No, it's like I always say it, like the one of the new Uzi Vert songs. It's just like there's no lyrics to it. I looked it up because I work with kids, and I said this before, but I'll say it again. Is I work with kids, and they wanted to add a song to a playlist, and I have to make sure that it's appropriate. Yeah, right. So I'm like, all right, let me just skim through the lyrics really quick, make sure there's nothing. And I'm like, there's no lyrics. It's just noise. It's just noise.
But that's what songs are. I'm like, like, come on.
Yeah,
let's.
I'm like, what is this? I'm like, this is the other thing. I feel like, aside from the people that are actually taking this seriously, the producers are the ones that should be more famous than the artist right now. Yeah, of course. Because the beat is what's selling. Yeah, like that song, that Uzi Vert song.
That's what it is. It's the beat. Which kind of brings me to like another topic. Like, it's all these songs that have been coming up. It's the same beat. They're literally the same damn beat. Yeah. I remember like when I was a kid. And I was like, oh, I wonder how you make beats. And somebody was like, get Fruity Loops. And I'm like, what the hell is Fruity Loops? Yeah. Right? And so I open that, and you're just like hitting buttons and putting stuff in there. And you have the hi-hat, and it's like, you know what I mean? You don't know what you're doing. And I'm just like, yo, I wish SoundCloud hip hop was popular back when I was a kid, because I would have been like, yeah, bro, I got beats for days. Right? You know what I mean? Full catalog. Yeah. I got all 3 sounds in here with a ton of different hi-hats. I got you, bro.
That's it. That's all you need.
That's you know what I mean? It's like that's all it is, and it's wild, bro. It's I hope we get away from that at some point.
Yeah.
You know, I want to hear real music again.
The creativity of it.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just saying.
See, I think it's slowly
template.
getting there because you do hear songs that like pop off that like have meaning and have like more lyrics and stuff like that. Jordan Lucas. People
Right.
like that.
But it's like if I was to ask somebody who isn't like a big hip hop head who Jordan Lucas is, they'd go, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's the problem. You know what I mean? But if I ask anybody in the universe who Taylor Swift is, everybody's hand goes up. So that's another thing, and it's like nothing to take away from people like that, because obviously like they made it. They're just in a kind of like of a different space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like you have to know music in order to know who Jordan Lucas is, and then you understand like where he is in his career, and he's up there. You know what I mean? The only difference is he's not in rotation like Drake 24/7.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's the issue too, is like you have so many phenomenal artists that are trying to push the boundaries as far as creativity and sound, and they just get, I wouldn't say blacklisted, but they're just kind of just pushed off to the side.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, call it politics, call it whatever you want.
It is.
It's like, no, we just want Drake, Kanye, Taylor Swift. Let's just keep
me on the other hand, I'm like, yo, show me the next Prince, the next Amy Winehouse.
Yes.
Like, show me a musician. Like, show me a real artist who's gonna, who can write their own music.
Yes.
And they're just I mean, I feel like anybody in the world could sit down and listen to Prince and be like, I appreciate this. Even if you don't like it, you're gonna be like, I cannot deny how good this human being is at what he does.
Right.
Exactly. But I can't like play Lil Uzi Vert.
Who's the next Uzi?
Right. If I ever put that shit on it like a cookout, they'd be like, bro, what?
What is happening?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, whose house are we at right
Exactly.
I want to be intrigued by someone's artistry. Like, that's always what does it for me. So that's why when you were talking about like the behind the scenes stuff, I was like, it's funny because as a consumer, I want all of that. I want to know all of that. I want to like see how it's made and just the process, because to me, that's like the most important thing, and that helps me appreciate the artist.
Right.
So I forgot what I was gonna say after that.
That's what gets me to like an artist more.
But
because I understand who they are.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what I was getting at is, but then when it's me, I'm like, are these people gonna care?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
You know what I mean? Like, are they gonna really care? Like,
Right.
what products I use, or what I'm thinking in this moment, or if I'm actually terrified to do something. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like, anyways, getting back to it, like, I feel like I feel like there's a shift, and I don't know if I'm just being hopeful because I want it, but I feel like there is a shift of like people that are true creatives, like in and out, like doing the whole entire thing. You're writing it, you're there, you're co-producing it. If you can't necessarily engineer the beat yourself, you're like right there by someone's side.
Right.
You're your own creative director and like doing all of that. And I feel I don't think people realize how all-encompassing it is. And B, I feel like now that we are in the day and age of like influencers and like whatever, I feel like maybe now people are starting to understand the workload behind it. But I also feel like there's this juxtaposition of anyone can be a star, or anyone thinks they can be a star.
Right.
And I don't want to put that down either, because like the point of having these conversations is to make it known that like, yes, these things are attainable.
Right.
But I think it becomes dangerous when people don't realize like, no, you have to work though.
Oh yeah.
And like, this is dedication, this is motivation, and you have to go through the times of no one's gonna believe in you, everyone's gonna think you're crazy. You need to just know that you're a star. You need to keep doing it, and it's not just this, okay, these 3 to 5 steps and I'm done.
Right. Right, and
That's what you were saying.
and so my girl's a teacher, right? She teaches middle school.
Oh. I'm sorry.
He's like, wait, hold on. Let me get
Before you go,
Sorry.
let me just.
That's tough though. That's tough.
It is.
That's
It is.
a toughie.
It is. But she, she'll come home and tell me stories, and kids always talk about what I'm gonna do when I grow up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%.
But like the majority of the class now is like, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. I'm gonna be a TikTok star, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm just like, you're probably not.
That's so weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
It is, isn't it though? Like I'm just gonna be internet famous.
That's so
like
well-
that's the goal, right?
All the kids at my job,
That's
all they
so
do,
weird
they
to
come
me.
in and they're just on their phone, just watching videos.
Facts.
And just,
It's all they do. They're all
That
anti-social.
wasn't an option.
I'm like,
we didn't have that option. Like, oh, I'm just gonna be internet famous. Like when when I was in high school, not everyone had cell phones. Like Facebook, I think social media wasn't even a thing. I think I had MySpace. I think.
MySpace.
MySpace, I think I had maybe senior year or like my first year of
Exactly,
college,
yeah.
like 2007 or something. So
Yeah.
like none of these things were options. So it's
Right.
just so weird to like hear, instead of like I want to be a teacher or a dancer or a rapper or like whatever, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna be an influencer. I just think that's
like stardom
blows
used
my
to
mind.
seem so far away.
Now it's
Back
in
in the
your
day,
face.
like a 1 in a million type
Yeah.
of thing.
Right.
And now it's like, who is it today? Like who's coming up?
Right.
Every day it's a new person.
Right, and like there's so many marketing tricks that you don't know that go on behind the scene, like your TikTok influencers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's just say somebody is a TikTok influencer, right? They think all they do is they just go in front of their phone and they talk about stuff and people just love it. It's literally not how any of that works. There's obviously a building block. It goes back to what I said. When you release something, think like a business. You're not just going to put something out and it goes viral. There's going to be money involved. There's going to be marketing steps. There's branding steps. There's publications. Like you work with a bunch of different people in order to get from A to B. So like when you're in the studio, right, you work with your engineer.
Right.
That's how you get the song done. When you release the song, you work with your publicist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You work with different people in order to attain different things. Unless you're just that human who's just, you got all the tricks in the bag. You can make the beat, make the song, you can engineer it, you can get it into this magazine, this platform, this playlist, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you're like that dude, which I you know what I mean? I wish I was. But
It's few and far between that have every single skill
right.
base, at least at a bare minimum.
right. Because the other thing that nobody wants to talk about is that there's gatekeepers to this shit.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
We were talking about that the other day.
The music, I think what people really neglect is that the music industry is extremely small. It's not this humongous wide open space that everybody thinks that it creates.
Yeah.
Once you find certain people, you'll realize they're connected to them, and then it eventually just
It's
circles.
a much smaller circle.
So small.
Yeah.
It's such a small circle.
What is it, 7 degrees of separation,
yeah.
whatever it is?
That's right.
So much smaller than people.
Right.
really
It's a very like we control this space in, like days of like, even getting record deals and things like that. Well, you're not getting a record deal until you proved to the record company that you can do it without them. That's the only time they're gonna swoop in and take you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I try to like tell people, I compare it to like Shark Tank. I'm like, all right, you see these people going on Shark Tank? And they're like, this is what my business is valued at. This is how we're doing things. Da 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 da. We're established. And then somebody raises their hand and says, yeah, I'm in. Okay, it's the same concept. You couldn't get a label look, no matter how talented you are, if nobody's paying attention to you.
Right. Are you worth the risk?
Exactly. You need to be a finished product before they're willing.
Right.
And all banks, all record labels are glorified banks with connections. That's all.
Oh
they
yeah,
are.
that's all it is.
That's all they are.
Yeah.
They got the money to do things, and they have the people to make it happen, and that's that.
Yeah, that's all. That's all it really is.
Right.
Just an investment, and then
That's it.
they make sure, like you said, like you want to be a little bit more established, so that if things do follow through, it's like it's on you at this point, bro. Like
right, and then like the other thing that people don't know is like the contracts that they put in front of you. I remember, I forget whose podcast it was. Maybe it was Rogan or something, but he had an artist on there, and he was talking about, oh yeah, I think it was like late 90s, early 2000s. He was like in a rock group, and he's like, I won't talk about the label who signed us, but they put a contract in front of us, and I'm paraphrasing, but it basically said, if we discover another planet and there's humans and civilization on that planet, we own the rights to your music in that planet, and we can sell that and also make money there.
What the
And
heck?
I was like, what? So I'm like, okay, so if we like landed on Mars and there was a colony there and there were consumers, they're basically saying, yeah, we're gonna sell your music there and we're gonna make money off of it.
That's
You-
wild.
We own your.
That's such a weird, like,
That's crazy.
part B, 220.25.
Can you imagine that? Just like anywhere in the universe that music can be consumed, we also own
That's
it
how,
there.
that's how far they take it.
Yeah, that's
wild.
a weird intent.
It's crazy to think, but it's definitely
It's wild, bro, because
Golfing
you're a price tag. You know what I mean?
It is,
You're
yeah.
worth this much value to them.
How can we make
How can we make money
off of you?
how
That's what
can
it
we-
is.
How can we drain you of everything you have?
Yeah.
You know, and then when you're done, and that's it. We made our money and see you later.
Right.
Well, they want to see an ROI.
Of course.
Yeah. They want their money back.
Anybody, yeah, they
Of
don't
course.
want to be taking risks.
But then there's all those people that they get the deal and then they buy the cars, they buy all this, and they're not investing in the music, and then the music doesn't sell, and then the label's going, where's our money? And then they're going, I'm driving it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
it just,
It's wild.
they're not
bro.
reading it, and then they're like, oh, I didn't know how to pay that back.
Yeah, it's wild.
What did you
It's-
think we were doing here?
Right. You're basically getting a loan.
Yeah,
That's what you're getting a loan. You're getting a big check up front, and then you're getting loaned out for everything else. And you gotta, like, people need to understand, you're the last person to get paid off of your music. Like, your label's getting paid, your tour manager's getting paid, your roadies are getting paid, the dude who's pressing up your merch is getting paid. Once everybody else has been paid, whatever's left over, that's your residual right there.
Yeah.
And that's, you know what I mean? And it's wild. It's just wild. The way kids look at shit nowadays, it's
Yeah.
like they think, and it's great to dream. Have
Right.
dreams.
You have
Dream
to.
as big as you can. Manifest that.
Right.
But at the very least, understand what you're getting into.
Oh, yeah.
Understand it's a business.
Right.
Yes.
If you hear all that stuff and then you're like, okay, I understand that, and you still want to go into that, then all right,
Right.
by all means, do what you got to do. But
Right.
if you're just like, deal, sure.
Right.
then
Like,
you're
don't
like, wait.
think that it's gonna be easy. Don't think that it's gonna be handed to you. I feel like really true creatives and artists, like, you have to have a fire that is in you. Like, you have to just know.
Yeah.
Like, that is when you're at your full potential. That's what you were put here to do.
Yep.
And it's not easy, and people are just like, oh, I'm just gonna do that. And you're right. There is a level of like, oh, that's sweet. Like, good. Yes, keep dreaming, but like,
Yeah.
At the same time, keep dreaming
right.
and just
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, like, we're in hip hop, so we hear the word industry get thrown around so much,
All
it
the
becomes watered down, right?
Very.
Like, oh, the industry. It's like, yeah, because it's an industry.
Right.
Like,
It's
there's
a business.
money. You can't be an industry without money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't be an artist without being a brand, without being marketable, without being able to generate profit. Like, people need
Yes.
to, like,
Yeah.
the consumer needs to want to buy you.
Right.
Without that, you don't have anything. It doesn't matter how good anything else you do. So, like, in theory, you could be absolutely terrible, like Uzi Vert, and you could say the same thing 57 times. But the fact is, he's a consumable product.
right.
There's a lot of money
People
behind
like
him. Exactly. He's everywhere you look. You know what I mean? And that's like the catch-22.
Right. And that's why I feel like now, we were talking about this the other day, is, songs are now, 2 minutes, if that. So it's like people like Uzi Vert, they don't have to put, I mean, I don't know his process. I'm not going to sit here and say I know what
His process? Oh, I'm sure he just goes in there and says, give me a bottle of lean, and I'll say some stuff. Mix it down and put some echo on my voice. All right,
Yeah.
track's done.
Right. But, I just don't, I can do that song and then I can just recreate something else because this is what the people just want. Just a super watered down, quick beat, quick, simple beat type of thing. Find a great beat. Okay, I'll throw a couple yas in there and all right, we're on to the next one. Okay, that one takes off on TikTok. Okay. Let's find a similar beat because people soaked up the last one.
Right.
Let me throw a couple years on there, and then I tweaked it a little bit. Still sounds the same, but so it's I'll do it for 2 minutes, and then it's so for people like that, it's so easy to constantly kind of cycle things through,
Right.
and
You're right.
allow them to be marketable and
Yeah.
stay in the game because it's what's selling, and sadly, a lot of people are consuming it because of their just that instant gratification.
I love that word, instant gratification.
It's crazy to me. We talk about it all the time.
That's because I mean, honest to God, it's true. And I had a friend, I forget what he called it. He called them like microwavable mindset or something. Is that what it is? Microwavable mindset.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
I heard that. I love that.
Yeah, microwave.
Because you know, you put something in the microwave, you're like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm gonna put that thing on for 30 seconds. Boom, I have a meal. Like that's you don't even get 30 seconds of people's attention anymore.
No,
Right.
You get somewhere between 2 and 5 before they're like, yep, next. Because there's so much shit out there. They don't have to pay attention to anything longer than a few seconds.
Yeah.
You know, like
what's the point?
It's so dangerous.
like remember when we used to buy CDs? First off, I wish that would come back.
Yes.
Yes, I'm
Going to the record store.
I love that.
You know, you
100%.
actually
Best Buy,
Strawberries
F.Y.E.
and drum hill.
Dude, I was looking for it.
like first off, you had to like physically go outside and interact with other humans. That should be like something we should do more often.
Yes.
We talked about
But you didn't get an album or a project from somebody every quarter like it seems you're kind of getting now.
Yeah.
Because they're like, here's my new project, it's 4 songs. I'm like, it's not a project, that thing's half done.
Right. Yeah. That's,
You know?
That's 4 singles.
Yeah, you got 4 singles. Like your whole CD or your whole album is like 12 minutes.
No, seriously. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like when like the process used to be, all right, put out the single, see how it does. Okay, here comes the album. Okay, now we're gonna do a tour to promote the album.
Yeah.
And like you wouldn't get another album for like 2 years. Yeah. Soak that shit up while you can, because that's all you're getting.
Yes.
But now it's like, because the music that's being put out is so easy to make and there's literally not much thought behind it.
No.
You can just, I could go sit in my house all day and just go Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Yeah,
And then make up a dance.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's all you have
If
to do.
that's all I had to do, bro, I'd be putting out albums every month.
Seriously.
They'd be like, put on the beat. You know what I mean? I'd be like, cool, I'm gonna freestyle this whole shit, auto-tune the crap out of it.
just put the auto.
You know, but like I listen to your music and I'm like, okay, there's feeling behind this, there's a story behind this, there's
Likewise.
context behind this. Like I can tell you sat down, you had train of thought, you put pen to paper, things probably got scribbled out, put back in, rearranged. You rehearsed it. You went into the studio. You sat down. You listened to it. You let it marinate. You gave it the car test. Like you
Car
did.
test, yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like you did
Yeah.
all of these things, and you were like, okay, now I'm ready to put it out.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about
Let
the
me put
other
a
day.
plan behind how to put this out.
That's what we were talking about the other day, because before I dropped Apartments, I was talking with Mertz, and we had the masters and everything. Yeah.
Solid guy.
Yeah, for
Solid
sure.
guy. He's another one who's like, and I'm not speaking for him, but he's like, yeah, fuck all these new kids.
Yeah. 100%. He'd be like, yeah, you're right.
You're right.
He sent me all the masters and everything, and he had the same mind that I did. And I was like kind of impartial because I was like, I waited 10 years, I want this out. But I understood where he was coming from. So we have the masters, and he goes, sit on it for a week.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, you're right. He's like, you waited enough time to put this out, make sure it's right.
Right.
So we sat for another week, and he's
Right.
like, nah, I can hear some stuff. And I was listening, and I was like, yeah, you're right. So then we swept it back, tweaked everything out, and then we're like, okay, now we're good.
Right. And
Let's drop it.
and sometimes it's the littlest tweak.
Uh-huh.
Where like maybe the average person wouldn't pick up on it, but you're gonna pick up on it. You know, other people are gonna listen to it, and that's gonna drive you nuts. I once had an engineer. I was working with an engineer once, and I was like, "Hey, I don't like the way that sounds."
Yes.
You know, the pop
Yeah.
filter didn't catch it
Yeah.
correctly. It sounds too open. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can hear it, which means everybody else can hear it.
Yeah.
And like the rhythm of everything else that I'm doing, it's not in unison, and it's going to stand out. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
All I want you to do is knock it down a little bit. You know, something like that can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just made me think of so Boulevard off the album. So the song was done. Like I liked where at least like vocally, like where it's at, everything was good. You know, we just had to get it mixed and whatever. But I went in, we're just like, all right, let me listen to it one more time. Let me just make sure. And I'm listening to it, and I go, all right, I need a track. And he goes, what? And I go, okay, so after the second chorus, there's like a break, and then the verse starts. So it's like, so I'm playing it, and I just go, okay. It's been, and then the verse kicks in again.
Yeah.
But
Right.
all I added was okay.
Sometimes that's needed.
And I was like, now I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
Now I'm good.
You were like,
this
you know what? It sounds like
feels
it kind of
right.
comes out of nowhere. I need something.
Yeah.
I need a filler.
I was just like, it just needs an okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's it. I was like, yeah, that's all I need.
Sometimes that's all
Now
you
I'm
need.
good.
That attention to detail is so important, though.
Critical.
I'll be honest, like I picked a lot of it up, not even like musically, but we ended up, I got the opportunity, it's not going to come out, but I had the opportunity to shoot a music video for J. Cole. And Joyner Lucas directed it. So I got to be, me, it was a couple other MOCG people, Saphir, bunch of other people just got the opportunity to do it. So we're all there for 3 days, trying to shoot this music video, and I'm just watching Joyner. Like,
Right.
I'm being a part of the music video, but at the same time, I'm like watching.
You're studying.
He was like shooting, and he's like, that light is casting the wrong shadow off of this, and then when you move, like you can see you in the thing, and change that light bulb, add this one, and then put another one back there, and then the scene's gonna be good. All right, let's see it. Nope, take that one out, move it over there, and then let's try it again. And I was like, I've never seen anything like this, but this is awesome.
Yep.
And I was like, this process is amazing, and it really like just changed my way of thinking of things, and such a great opportunity. I'm sad the video's not going to come out, but I just embraced the opportunity to see something like that, and I've just applied everything to it into what I'm doing.
When I work with people, I'm the same way. I'm super I'm hands-on.
Yeah.
I'm nitpicky as a motherfucker to a fault.
Yeah.
And if it ain't perfect, it's still not good enough.
Yeah.
And I've driven people create because they don't hear what I hear. They don't see what I see.
Right.
And I'm just like, yo, I have a vision. I know what needs to be done. Just can you please do it? You know what I mean? Like you'll trust me. You'll be happy when we're done. But sometimes I shoot videos. Mostly Sando directs a lot of my videos.
Yeah.
And all we do is fucking me while we're on set the entire time. I'll be like, we have enough footage or something like that. He'd be like, yeah, no, we don't. We're gonna do this 10 more times. And I'm just like, we don't need to do this anymore. We can do the other thing now. Or or yo, this angle doesn't work, or this lighting doesn't work, or hey, can we try? You know what I mean? And he'd be like, and then he'll be like, we have enough footage. You know what I mean?
And then he'll flip it on you and you're like, wait, hold on, what happened here?
Right, but it's when you're putting something together, especially visually, you have an image in your head and you try to get as close to that image as you possibly can, because we're kind of in a space where we're a little bit more limited as to what we have access to. I'm gonna just automatically assume Cole and Joyner have
they got money to throw.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So they have more connections to things,
resources, all that stuff.
right? If we wanted to, I don't know, if we had this idea, we're like, oh, it'd be dope if we could raise a banner and in the garden or whatever.
Oh, right, yeah.
We can't do that.
We can let your managers of TV Garden go.
One of their people could just
What
make a phone call real quick and be like, oh Tuesday work?
Yeah.
Right,
exactly.
so you start thinking about you'd be doing treatments or whatever to put together for a video, and you're like, well, that's not possible. So now we're gonna have to substitute.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So it's just things like that. Trying to
There's so much more into it than people realize. I remember I reached out to, I don't know if it was my high school or if it was a different high school, and I was like, hey, I would really love to use your gym to shoot a music video. I have this idea, I have this concept, blah, 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 blah. And they were like, yeah, we're gonna need, you need to make sure you have insurance. And I was like, what? I was like, because if anybody gets hurt, you get, and I was like, damn. I was like, all right, so looks like the school idea is out, because I'm trying to shoot the video. I don't have and then to pay for the insurance. I'm like, it's not your normal insurance.
It's that's a completely different.
So I was like, we're gonna have to either find a new school, shoot this outside at some playground.
I had that. So I had a similar issue with a video that I just put out. And my idea is I wanted to shoot some of it inside of a church. And so found a couple of churches. Made a couple of phone calls.
I love that song.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
The video.
The video would have been so much better if I got to do what I wanted to do. But since we're on the topic of you don't have the resources. So, some churches I didn't hear back from. Some were just like, you do hip hop. No. Just that stigma. And then, so it basically came down to two. And so one of them was in Boston, and I'm not going to put them on blast or anything, but like one of them's in Boston, and I was able to get in contact with whoever the director was, and they wanted, I think it was like $2,500 an hour.
What?
And I was like,
a church?
For a church to rent the space, like while nobody's in the space. And I'm just like, so like
Puts up so many red flags for me. as far as the church goes.
$2,500 a pop. I'm like, for an hour. And I'm just like,
I'm
like, yo, that's more than my entire music video budget. You
Right.
know?
Right.
So I'm like, I didn't even respond. I felt offended.
Yeah.
$2,500.
Especially for.
I'm like, I was like thinking, I'm like, how much do people pay to get married and shit? Like just to have a ceremony in a church?
Right. Yeah.
Like there's no way they're paying $2,500 an hour.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's true. That makes sense.
I feel like I got the You Make Hip Hop music price.
I was
100%.
just gonna say, unless they did that to deter you, which and either way,
That
it's
could
like
make-
red
that could
flag
make
no
sense.
matter
A
what.
huge red
Yeah.
flag.
Yeah.
And so the other one, this was my first one that I really wanted to do. I wanted to shoot it at St. Anne's in Fall River, which I ultimately ended up doing. But I used to live on the same street as the church, and then I moved and I lived like literally a block away on Park Street. And so I was like, yo, this is dope. Like I'm familiar with the area, I'm familiar with the church, and I just kept getting roadblock after roadblock. I even had my manager reach out, talk to the director over there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to go through the archdiocese. I'm like,
The
what?
arch.
Yeah, like he had to keep getting permission from like different people in order to do this.
I could see that from a Catholicism
Right.
aspect of it.
Right. And I mean I explained to them what the concept would be. Hey, I'm from there. I'm familiar, like I've been in there. But they just, they pretty much just kept giving me the we'll get back to you. And I was like, you know what then? I'm gonna just shoot it outside.
Right.
Do nothing
Public
about it.
space. Thank
Boom!
you.
So, and that's what we did. And
Because they're afraid of their image.
it's exactly what it is.
It's the image.
It's
It's
the image
the church. What
Right.
what the song content is.
That's
Which
what-
I mean, the song content is
I
very
thought-
fitting.
I thought it was like okay for, you know what I mean?
Very fitting.
Like I'm
Yeah.
not in there cussing up. Like I don't think I swore once in the song.
No.
I'm not talking bad about anything.
Right. We're actually talking about talking to God.
Right.
Right. Like this is
Praying.
It
right.
wouldn't actually make sense.
Like this
Yeah.
is my experience.
Yeah.
But instead we had to shoot it outside at 9-10 o'clock on a Friday night. So it's Fall River. Everybody wanted to drive by and roll their window down and scream, "Go fuck yourself!" And
Yeah, of course.
all that.
In front of a church. I just sitting in front of a church.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
Yeah, fuck you, fuck. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Luckily people don't understand when you do the music video, you mute everything and then just drop the
Yeah,
song in
yeah,
there.
right.
You know what I mean? So imagine I was trying
None
to
of this is coming.
do it live and I'm just like, yeah, dun, you hit fuck you.
It just becomes your ad-libs.
Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, just
Right.
my ad-libs. Just get fire
Facts.
ad-libs too. Just
Right.
I mean, it worked though.
yeah.
What a journey to get there.
But I get where you could say the concept just doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, the video came out very well. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the video.
Thank you.
I love the song itself.
Right.
Matched everything. But I could, after you explaining that, I could see where you're like, there were so many details that I wanted to put in here that I couldn't portray.
Right.
Because I couldn't get in the door.
Right. Like imagine if I was able to, because I had the treatment all put together, man. You know how you put the treatments together,
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right, cool. So step one, like there's these big church doors. You'll see me open them up and walk inside. There's the holy water. There's the pews. There's the confession.
Right.
There's and the architecture inside of that church is just phenomenal.
So many elements that you can utilize.
So much B-roll could have been utilized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we didn't get that opportunity to do that. So even though the video came out good, it could have been
Right.
immaculate
So
if I
much
had those resources available to me. Like going
It's
to the
the
garden and hanging up a banner.
Right.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
One day.
One day. So, but yeah, you get it. You know how we're limited as to.
That's what's the frustrating part. I've had
It
so
is.
many music video ideas, and I'm just like, it can't stray away from this. But realistically, it's not happening.
I've had way too many ideas that I've tried to put in motion. It's like, okay, how am I gonna pull this off? There's no way.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're
Got it, you're good.
You're good.
Nah, the microphone clearly wants to get closer to my crotch. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sorry, man, I cut you off, but yeah. So you get it. Like, you know, you have limited resources, and it costs money to do everything that you want to do. You know what I mean? So it's like, which it goes back to the whole skills thing. You can have, you know, you can have a bunch of skills. You probably can't have them all. My Achilles heel is I can't make beats.
Same.
I can't make beats. I can put together like a solid 3 ideas with the instrumental. You know what I mean? But after that, it's I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I need somebody. I need to be like, yeah. I need the. Who's calling me? That's my mom.
What up, Mom?
Does she want to be on the podcast?
Hey, Mom. Hey, I'm actually doing a live podcast right now.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, because I'm gonna make sure that they include this.
Oh, jeez.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Everybody says hi, Mom. That's my
What's
mom.
up?
That's my mom right there. All right, I'll give you a call back later.
Okay, have fun.
All right, love you.
Love you, bye.
Bye. I'm a mama's boy. I don't
What
care.
a sweet
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my God, what a sweet lady.
That's dope.
I'm such a mama's boy. I don't care.
Nah, that's dope, man.
No, that's beautiful.
Yo,
That's my mom. That's my mom right there.
No, you always answer mom's calls.
Hell
That's-
yeah.
Push you out, bro.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's right. I always
You
answer
always
the
answer
phone.
mom's calls.
Always call me 11:30. Big, what do you want? Big, I'm bored. What are you doing?
But at least you answered.
Yeah, like I'm trying to go to sleep. You know.
Yep.
Sweet though.
You know. So,
Yeah.
but what were we talking about?
Just resources.
Resources and being.
And
yeah, that's my Achilles heel.
Oh, making beats.
Can't make beats.
Yeah, I can.
But I can sit next to somebody who can make beats, and I can say, I want this, I want these kind of strings, I want
They're just able to set it up. Like,
because like that's their universe.
Right.
That's not my world. You know, the same thing. Like I can engineer a song, but I'd rather go to somebody who like loves to do it. This is all that they do.
It also doesn't put a lot on your shoulders. Like, it's great to have those skills, but it also doesn't put a lot on your shoulders too. Like, where you're going into it, it's like, all right, now I gotta write the song. Now I gotta make the beat. Now I gotta mix the beat. Now I gotta mix my vocals. Now I gotta master the whole song. Now I gotta. It's like,
It's a lot, bro.
that's why sometimes I'm just like, you know, one of the engineers that we use too is Mikey. He's like, all right, here you go, Mikey. Go ahead, like, take care of it.
Go, yeah.
Because then I can go and for me, like you said, like, there's only so much time in the day. You can be going over there mixing and mastering this. Now I can start working on song track number 2
Bang.
and start writing or whatever, or you know, work on a concept or work on the pod, whatever.
Yeah.
And I can manage my time better because I would, for me, it just works out better that way. I can kind of almost like that delegation.
Time
Just-
management. That's
You
big.
have to be
I'm
smart.
assuming y'all struggle with time management.
We were just talking about this when
Can't
we got
relate.
here.
I put in just like the same amount of time, if not more, like into music than my full-time job. Like I, 40 hours a week plus.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm always going.
So I took my lunch breaks to
Been there.
just work on music.
Been there, bro. Been
That's
there.
what I do. So I can eat at my desk. So I'll eat at my desk while I'm working, working and eating.
Right.
And then my lunch break comes up. I'm either writing, I'm putting something together because it's just time that I have.
So because we're talking about this, I put out almost like a little mini doc about a year or two ago, probably like at least a year, maybe 2 years ago. And the reason I did it is because I took such a giant step back from making music.
I wanted to talk about this too.
All
right, cool. The hiatus.
Yeah, the hiatus. That's and I mean that's what it was. So like the thing of it is that, all right, we talk about like consumers and branding, and so they see me as an artist. They see me as somebody who makes music. That's the thing that they like about me. But at the same time, I have a real life. I have a personal real life.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a tricky thing to manage, bro.
Yeah.
Because, and I don't know if I said it in hiatus, but I probably did. But like, people notice that you're not around. That whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's because you're literally trying to appease everybody and keep your career going at the same time.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, like, you suffer, right? Because now you feel like shit because you run around. You're exhausted. You don't have any energy to do anything. So you end up neglecting a bunch of things that you otherwise this might be your whole entire universe, right? And then those people who are on the outside looking in are thinking the same thing. They're disappointed. Where are you? Why aren't you around? Why are we not spending time together?
Right.
Like, and it's such a juggling act.
Oh yeah, and at the same time, you have people hitting you up. Oh hey, you gotta send this off. You know what I mean? Hey, where's this? Where's that? You know?
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't get to your collab. You know?
Yeah.
I'll get to that tomorrow.
It's a lot.
It's
And then your wife's at
constant.
home going, we haven't really spent time together. I would love to go on a date with you sometime. We
Yo,
haven't
my
done
girl's
it.
like that too.
Yeah.
She'll be like, "What do you mean you're going to Boston to do a show? I wanted to go to Boston last week to go out to dinner." And I'm just like,
Yes.
"Damn, you got me! Like
Yeah.
you got me. You're right. You wanted to go out to dinner, and I was tired. I'm still exhausted now, but I'm getting paid to go do this thing in Boston. Like that's the reason I'm. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why I'm going.
Yeah.
But either way, she has a point,
Right.
right?
It's really hard.
You can plan a show, but you can't plan for us to go out to dinner. You're like, damn it.
Damn, like
you know what?
Like, bro, you got me.
You're right. You're right. You know what?
I just sit there and I'm like, but I did the dishes today. You know what I mean?
That counts for something. That counts.
It totally counts.
It
Yeah,
counts
right.
for
Hey.
something.
And I put
all of it's
all the
folded
laundry in the
away.
dryer. I didn't
That
fold it,
also counts.
but it's dry.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. But that's the struggle, though. That's where it's at. That's exactly where it's at. You're just trying to balance
All about balance.
everything.
Work-life
Yeah.
balance is so crazy, and especially like as a creative, because you most likely have a regular 9 to 5 because you have to pay your bills and you have to you have to live.
Right.
And then you're trying to do something else because that fuels you. That's your soul food. That's what you feel like you're supposed to be doing. So, like you said, you're putting
Yeah.
hours into creating whatever that is, music, acting, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then you have the people in your life that are like, where are you? Where have you been? What are you doing? Or you're like trying to date, or you're in a relationship. Either way, it's like it's
Something
gets-
suffers.
Yes.
Always.
And it's so hard to find people that will understand you. So like if you're dating or as somebody to be
Right.
in a partnership with or whatever, like that's really hard to find someone that's gonna understand what your life and what your load is like
Yeah.
as a creative and like a regular human being out in the world, because we can't necessarily do it full time yet, you know?
Yeah.
So it's
You nailed it.
It's such a delicate balance of, and especially if you have kids or like, or if you're a caregiver of another family member or something, like it's just so much to do.
Yeah.
It is. I feel like, for me personally, I put a lot of like the steps of life that people have. Like you go to high school, you go to college, you get a job, you get married, you do it. I feel like I've backburned all that because I've been so focused on like this thing. Like, yo, if I can just get this one thing to pop, everything else falls into place.
Right.
And like I'm there. Like I made it to that level where like now, okay, cool, it's cohesive. Now I can have the kids. Now I can buy the house. Now I can get married. Now I can go on vacation.
Everything is good.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm getting to that age where it's like, yeah, nah, bro, you're gonna have to figure out how to do all of that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's-
I know. I've been
feel
thinking
that.
about that too. I'm like, if I have a kid soon, while still trying to make music, like, what does that look like? And again, it's one of those things where if you're in a relationship, partnership, whatever it is, like you signed up for that, so you have to give that attention,
Right.
or else leave. Like, don't waste the other person's time.
Right.
So it's like you have to give that, because or else it is gonna suffer, and then you're gonna have somebody hating you at home because you're out doing all this other stuff. So I was like, damn, if I have a kid soon, like, what is that gonna look
Yeah,
like?
Yeah.
As far
I
as
think-
trying to make music, because
You're
then
gonna
it's
be
like
busy.
yeah, like I can't just be like, hey babe, I'll be back. I got 3 shows this week.
Yeah.
Take care of Junior for me. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's not. I
Right.
can't do that. Like, that's not how I view it.
Right.
That's not how I
Right.
want to be a
Right.
father at
No,
all.
right. No way.
Like, no shot.
I
Because
like.
go
Oh, I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No,
I
you
didn't
can
talk
go
over
ahead.
you. I'm sorry. But I like that you really said that, like, because I feel like that really resonated with me. Like, you're chasing something, and then the society standards of like your timeline go
Yeah.
on the back burner. So. And just from a female's perspective, because I know obviously it's going to be different, like how we go about things or what society views us as.
Right.
It's very different being like a 34-year-old female who's not married with no kids. And it's because, yes, I've always chased this dream. I will never stop chasing this dream.
Right.
Like, since I was a kid, I did not dream of getting married. I didn't dream of having children. I was on stage. I was traveling the world. Like, those were my dreams. Those were my visions, like, that I was thinking of. I think, like, earliest is, like, 4, you know? So then I love that you brought that up, because then to sit here as a human being and then you're like, okay, I'm not necessarily meeting society's standards of these timelines.
Right.
And then it's almost like this battle in my mind of like, does this take away from my value? Which that's not even true. That's not even rooted in truth. And I want to say that on record.
Right,
that's not
100%.
rooted in truth.
Right.
You are
100%.
not your productivity, and you are not like
Yeah.
your style, whatever.
Right.
But yes, those thoughts do come into your mind, because let's get real. I'm a female, so by the time I was 26, people are like, "So when are you gonna have kids?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm trying to
Like,
like."
I'm still
Right,
pushing.
yeah.
I'm still moving around.
Right.
Like I'm
Right.
trying to get more acting experience. I'm trying to like get out there and like meet people and network. Like, what are you talking about, kids? Like,
Right,
in
yeah.
marriage and
Exactly.
stuff. Like,
Right.
And for some people, it's like, when are you gonna get your own place? When is this gonna happen? Do you have your
Yeah.
own
All the
place?
life expectancies.
You have everything I have.
yeah, it's
You
obnoxious.
know? Yeah.
I would have family. I'd have family look at me like that. I mean, here's the thing. I also made some pretty piss poor decisions when I was younger. So like, I feel them when they look, when they would look at me at a certain age and just be like, when the fuck is he gonna do X, Y, and Z? So I feel them because I didn't finish high school the right way. That's all I'm gonna say, is I just didn't finish it the correct way. I eventually went to college, but I did it much later in life after I had a whole lot of growing up to do. So like, I did all of those things that you're expected to do. I just did them later
In your own
Different.
on.
Right, yeah.
Like, I wasn't 22, 23 graduating from college. You know what I mean?
I relate to that.
So, and then, but in the other aspect, while those kids were in college, I was the only one that I knew who was 18 with his own apartment. So
Right.
it was just very
It's like a give and take.
right.
Yeah.
So
Which most kids are like dorming or still with
Right,
their parents
and
or
I'm just
whatever.
like-
It's like I'm already out.
yeah, I'm out. Like, I'm not paying my utilities this month. Like, I gotta go grocery shopping. Like, I had to be an adult really, really early on. While other people were like out having fun, drinking, partying, like, oh, this is the shit. And I'm just like, damn, I ain't got nothing to eat.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like, you're right. As a woman, you're absolutely like, society looks at you way different. Like, you're 26. Why
Your clock
are you
is
not-
ticking.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't have kids. You're not married. You don't have your own house. What's wrong with your life? Like, nothing's wrong with
Yeah,
my
like,
life.
what's wrong with her?
Even
Like,
now at 34, it's like, oh, what's wrong with you? You don't have kids. You're not in a relationship. Oh, there must be something wrong with you. And it's
Everybody
like,
just happens to move
No.
at a different pace.
Right.
And that's okay.
It's
It's
true.
like we just have to do like what works for us.
everybody's
Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Everybody lives differently.
Right.
and chasing those
All walks of
dreams.
life.
I mean, if you look at people who are famous for the most part, especially entertainers, they're all single. I mean, they're not
It's easy
married.
because it's easier. You
Because
it's easier to move.
you sacrifice
Yeah.
fucking everything to get that thing. You know what I mean?
and the
there's
people that
no
are together
time.
have problems.
Oh my god, seriously. Right, because
For the most part,
they're probably just ignoring the shit out of each other all the time because they're so busy, and then there's all these temptations that they have access to.
Yeah.
And
And then when they come back together, they're like, I can't freaking stand you. Like, why did I marry you?
yeah, but like that, I mean, like, that's a reality. Like, a lot of these people who are famous, they don't have kids, or they don't have a partner, or maybe they have like an ex, or they don't have full custody of their kids. So like, this isn't their whole entire world. It's not the 9 to 5 life. You come home, make dinner, sit
Right.
down. You know what I mean? They have all that me time. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a balance. Because if you start ignoring people that are important in your life, they're gonna call you out eventually.
Oh, for sure.
And it's probably going to get bottled up for a little while, and then one day they're just going to hit you with it. You're going to go,
Yeah.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You are so right.
Right? Like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
I just wanted to watch the basketball game.
Right, Celtics are on right now. What are you doing, bro?
Right.
Yeah,
And you're right. It's not fair to them because the way you look at it, like, they have like what's considered the normal life.
yeah,
Wake up,
it's the standard.
yeah, wake up, they go to work, they put in their 8 hours, They come home, they make dinner, they watch their favorite TV show, and they're in bed by a certain time to make sure that they're up by a certain time.
Right.
Yeah, my life don't work that way.
Recycle that.
Yeah,
every day.
yeah, every day. My life does not work that way.
Yeah.
Every day is a different day. I can plan it out as best as I want.
It's not gonna
mean-
happen.
It's not gonna.
No way.
Never
No
happens.
shot.
Never
No
happens.
You can have a to-do list. There's no way you're sticking to
Oh
it.
yeah, and even if I bang out everything that's on my to-do list, well, I'm a creative. So 10:30
things
at
just popped
night,
off.
10:30 at night comes up, and I'm just like, I sit down for a second, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go right to that beat.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You know,
word.
or I'm
Oh,
gonna-
that's a dope idea.
yeah.
I
Oh, I'm
need to
gonna. Oh, okay.
plan
cool.
this out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right, and since we love it, we're able to do it, and it's like 3 hours just went by, and we're like, oh my god, it's 1:00 in the morning.
Yep.
I
Let me
gotta
keep
wake
going.
up.
Yeah, it's either let me keep going or crap, tomorrow's really gonna suck.
Yeah,
Here's 4 hours of sleep. Awesome. Let's
Right.
see what
That's-
happens.
you blink and it's on to the next.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
wild.
and then we're exhausted.
Yeah.
And then again, and then it's just like it's a repetitive cycle, and now that person's aggravated because so I've made sure, like, within, I'd say this last year, I've like gone out of my way to be a better partner with my girl.
Good.
So, at nighttime, especially for me personally, that's when the creative juices stop flying.
Dude, I hate it.
Right?
It's so
Yeah.
annoying.
Like when it gets dark out and the moon comes up, you're like, I'm up.
Oh,
Yeah. Like my wife said it to me the other day, and I was like, it was another one of those, like, damn, you're right.
Yeah.
I was like, she's like, you're always working on music, and I'm like, no, like I have the podcast time, and I don't really do anything after because I want to, I try to make sure that I spend time. And she's like, yeah, but you're always on your phone messaging people and talking about stuff, and you're talking to MoFlo, and then you're messaging the MOCG group chat, and then you're talking about the podcast, and then I'm like,
oh, life hit you up. Fuck
yeah,
me.
life hits you up, and then I'm like,
Fuck me.
Right. And then they're right.
yeah,
And they're
I'm like,
right.
I look at, I'm like, yeah,
My phone goes off all
day.
it doesn't stop. I did myself a favor a couple of months ago. I disabled all notifications from any kind of social
Dude,
media,
it's the
anything.
best thing.
Best thing I ever did, because not a lot of people have my phone number. So like if my phone rings or I get a text message, it's like my mom or
Yeah, you're right.
or my brother.
The important people.
Yeah,
that you
it's
know,
like-
like
it's like
if
one
you
of
calling me
five.
at this time,
Yeah,
like,
it's one of 5 people if my phone goes off. Like it only be one of 5 people because I know like 5 humans in this whole planet.
right.
But if I keep TikTok on or like IG or Facebook, or my phone would just be ding ding
Yeah,
ding 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 all night, and it would never stop.
Yeah.
And so what I've been trying to do is, like, I know my girl's like routine. I know how she operates, what time she gets home, what time she gets cranky because she's a girl and she needs to eat food.
Right. Yeah.
I know that she gets a little bit nappy and she likes to, curl up on the couch, and this is the show that she likes to watch. And so I've literally made it a point to figure out all of those things. All right, I know at this time she's gonna get hungry. I'm gonna start cooking dinner. I know around this time we're gonna get done eating, and this is what time her show comes on. So I'm gonna get her a blanket, and I'm gonna go kick it on the couch with her, and I'm gonna put her favorite show on, and we're just gonna relax for a little while.
Yeah.
But as
Really
soon
thoughtful.
as I go upstairs, because that's where I keep all my creatives. As soon as I go upstairs, even if she's half awake, I'll where you going?
What are you doing? Yeah.
What? I'm just going upstairs for like a minute. She's like, She knows it's like, you'll see me tomorrow.
45 minutes later.
Yeah.
still up there.
But and I know she sees that's what I'm doing. Like, she's not stupid. She knows what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm clearly trying to make a better effort to be a better partner to her, because it's
Right.
unfair.
Yeah.
It can't just be all about me. Otherwise, I'd be single.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
There's another person's feelings.
I say it all the time. Like, I mean, Lord willing, it doesn't happen, but like, music could be gone tomorrow.
Could be.
And then, like, who am I? I'm by myself because I just pushed everybody away.
Right. Right.
Pushed away my wife that I said I would, devote my entire life to.
Right.
Me personally. But it's like, like, to me, it's not worth losing that. So, in trying to put that effort and, at least set that time, like, okay,
Right. And
I got
by
my
doing this, there's things you're going to sacrifice in order. So you're either going to sacrifice something to spend more time with your wife, or you're going to sacrifice spending time with your wife for something else. So no
Right.
matter what decision you make,
Something
something is going to suffer. And at the end of the day, you're going to be tired.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we've all been given free will. We can make our own decisions.
Exactly.
This is how we choose to live.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't be mad at anybody else besides ourselves for the decisions that we make.
Right.
So it's good to acknowledge other people in our lives
Mm-hmm.
who want to be in our lives, right? Like we chose music, right? So we chose we want music in our lives. Well, my girl chose me to have in her life. You know what I mean? Or my friend chose me to be his friend.
Yeah.
So I can't just neglect these people who have been given free will and said, nope, this is my human. Like I want to spend time with this person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like that. That's so it's definitely difficult. I mean, we all know it's fucking difficult.
But like,
Yes.
but like as creatives, like once we find that balance and like we're good for a while, like you become a better person and like the music gets better
good,
and like whatever you're putting into like is better.
Right.
Because, everything's just like full circle.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Man, 100%. The only shitty part is once you do find that balance, or at least for me, I feel like something always shifts and I get a curveball.
Yep.
It's like right when I find the pocket, life's like, ha,
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah.
hold my beer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hold on. I got something for you.
Yeah. So there's always something else that ramps up and like, oh shit.
There we go.
I hate
Now
it.
Now I gotta reconfigure
I guess it's still
everything.
time. Yeah.
Gotta
Yeah.
reconfigure everything all over again.
I got a question. What do you, I mean, as far aside from maintaining relationships with people, is there like something in particular that you guys find to be like the most difficult thing about music? You have like a thing?
As far as I'm just trying to get clarity.
Yeah, it's like as far as like either like the creative process or the business side, because they're two very different things from like being in the studio making the music and then putting the actual product out. Is there something that anybody like you guys struggle with, or you think you could?
I would say
get
like
better at?
I would say like the business side of things, because I have no problem with creation. Like once I'm inspired, like I can bang out like I could have like 10. I could be working like on like 10 different songs.
Right.
I've got like multiple things going on, but like after that, it's like all right, like I can't just put it out. Like I can't just post about it. So like, what kind of promo do I need? Right. What do I want to do? What can I do without breaking my pockets? That's a tough thing.
Yeah. What's the post?
And of course I can't always afford to get like just keep getting merch and other stuff that like I should have, but my budget's.
Your budget is
like
your budget.
we were talking about before,
Your
right?
budget is your
Yeah.
budget. I would agree. That's literally that's where I struggle too.
Yeah.
That's my struggle.
Yeah.
You're just gonna play against the algorithm all day long.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine is kind of similar. It's like kind of the simple things like, you're about to drop, a song or whatever. So it's like, all right, now I got to update the website. Now I got to, do all these other, the business side of things. I got to, change the graphics and upload it to BMI, get it, get it to, update all these different things,
Spotify
get the
playlist,
graphics, Spotify
YouTube
playlist,
playlist.
all these different like little things that you're like, I know I need to do during the release, but it's like, time just kind of factors into it. And then now, at least for me, like doing the podcast, it's like, okay, do I sacrifice not putting a podcast together, push it back another week so that I can, make sure that this release is ready? Or do I, sacrifice a Spotify playlist to make sure that I'm consistent with the content of the podcast?
Yeah.
Using that as an example. So then it's like, even when I, like, for example, like when I dropped Apartments, like normally, like you would go on the website and it'd be like, buy Apartments. No, it was still get the pre-sale for Apartments. And I'm like, damn, because I was looking for something for the merch and I was like, damn, I haven't changed this yet. Like, and then I'm like, all right, now I got to go take a step back. I got to go log back in. I got to update everything.
And the initial release is when that's when it pops the biggest.
Yeah.
When everything first comes out, that day one that's the day.
Yeah. So it's those little things like, like registering for BMI, registering a show for through BMI, getting that pay cut 3 months later. You know what I'm saying? It's like those little things that I'm like, these are things that I could be, it's not an astronomical amount, but it's like, these are things that could, give me some type of, monetary value, putting a set in or something like that. But it's like, the time. And I'm like, I would rather, have the content for the pod and be able to create music and have some sort of basic level, marketing plan as far as releasing something or, content for IG or whatever, because we have to do
You
all
have
that
to.
stuff.
You have to.
Versus hitting the business side. I'm looking to start a clothing brand. Can't really do that because
You need more time.
I need more time. I just dropped the album.
Right.
Him and I are going to start working on a project.
Right.
I got I'm already starting on the follow-up album.
Right.
Got the pod. We got everything set up.
Got shows.
Got shows coming up.
And that's
It's
why
like,
when
all
you were
right.
like, yeah, once you find like that, the pocket, I'm like, yeah, then life throws you that curveball.
Yeah, because I was like, 10 years, my album is finally out. Ah, such a relief.
Yeah.
No, we have 3 shows coming up in 2 weeks. And, we're just, again, we updated the pod. We're back here. We're starting new projects.
Never ends.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So say goodbye to.
Where's the pocket? I
Yeah.
haven't found it once.
Yo,
Like, what are you talking
I
about?
found the pocket a couple times.
Yeah.
That's true, it just didn't stay.
It lasts for like that long.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
Exactly.
utopia when it occurs.
Yeah.
Well, this must be tough though, because as artists, like you really do have to be on top of so many different things. Like you said, like, do you have merch? Do you have a website? Like, are you, what were you?
No, I was just going to add. And then you don't have time to find a team to help you with all of those things. So then you're still stuck doing
are-
everything.
yeah.
Sorry, not to cut you
No,
off.
I didn't
It
mean
just
to
brought
cut
me
you
to
off
that
either.
thought.
You are the team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, so
That's
you don't even have time to build the team to help you.
I've tried to tell people that, like, oh, yeah, I'm the, so I'd be like, oh, I write the music, I record the music, I put out the music, I register it with the distribution, I'm the publicist, I'm the accountant, I'm the promoter.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm the executive
Yeah.
director for my
Yeah.
music video.
music videos, I'm the graphic designer. Like, you acquire like all these skills either because you enjoy it or you're like, how can I save $5?
It's out of
because
necessity.
you have to, yeah.
Yeah, because ultimately, let's just say you didn't know how to do anything, right? You don't know how to do any of it. So let's just, to make a number easy, right? Let's just say like you go to the studio and it's $50 an hour.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say it takes you, I don't know, 4 hours all in to record it, mix it, master it, let it marinate, whatever. So boom, that's $200.
Right.
All right. Well, now you need to have whatever you're putting out needs to have a graphic design. Let's just call it $100.
Yeah.
That's $300. Now you want a music video? I'm gonna be nice when I say this.
Right.
$500.
Yeah.
So now you're at $8.
It's like bare minimum.
Right. Right. So now you're at $800, and I'm being nice right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now
yeah,
you're
sure.
at eight,
But-
now you're at $800, right? So now you have the song, you have the graphic, whatever it costs for
video.
distribution. You got the video. Let's just call it, just to make life easier, we'll call you're at $1,000 because I was being very generous with the $500 music video thing. So you're at a stack. That's a stack. Okay, you live with somebody, that's probably half your rent or your mortgage. That's what that is. That's $1,000 to live for the month. You just put that into a project and you haven't even promoted it yet.
Yeah.
You haven't done anything. All you did was make the thing.
Yeah.
You put the thing out. Now
And that's being generous.
Right. I'm being generous. If you don't know how to do anything, ultimately you're gonna pay at very minimum to get a nice product $1,000. That means get a nice sounding song. And I didn't even talk about paying for the beat.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right,
You gotta buy
right,
the
right.
beat. So
Yeah,
realistically, you're probably more in the $1,500 range.
Yeah.
And again, all you've done is make the thing. You've made the song and you've made the video. You haven't done anything else yet. You haven't promoted it. There's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's IG, there's TikTok, there's YouTube. Like those are probably your 5 main go-tos when you release stuff. Yeah, every single platform is different. Every single kind of promotion, if you're gonna run one, is gonna be
Very
different. All of it's gonna be different. Like, personally, I might, for say like Instagram, if I put out a video, I might give you 60 seconds because I know that if I put out a 60-second clip on IG of the new video, if I wanted to build a promotion around it, the maximum amount of time that I have is the 60 seconds because if you try to promote a video longer than 60 seconds, IG won't let you do it.
Right.
But if I go on Facebook, maybe I might give you the full thing because Facebook actually encourages you to upload longer videos.
Yeah.
Like, so
Because they want you to stay on the site longer.
so like there's all this extra stuff that you need to know how to do, and then you need the money to do it. And I feel like, with all the money that I've probably put in, just out of my own pocket
Right.
over the years, man, I probably could have had like a nice big ass house. Probably could have gone to Fiji
Oh,
a couple
right.
times.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I could have, if we just did like the regular like 9 to 5 life, I call it. That's what I like to call it, the 9 to 5 life. I feel like if we lived just the 9 to 5 life, bro, people would be like, "Oh, that was really cool. You went scuba diving last year, and
Right.
like you had
You
all
went
these-
skiing? That was awesome.
Like you had all these
Oh,
cool experiences, and
Yeah.
you live in this wicked awesome neighborhood, and
Yeah.
you know. But like, no, this is where my money's gone. I considered it to be an investment, and along the way, I had to learn by taking losses.
Yeah.
Because nobody told me, hey, don't do that, or don't work with this person, or this is what contractual agreements really mean. You learn all that shit when you're young.
Yeah.
And you're still like, you're kind of just like, you know, bright, starry eyed, and the world's in front of you, and you're trying to figure it out as you go. But you end up taking a lot of losses in order to get to that level where you have the knowledge. And that goes back to, you know, the gatekeepers. People don't want to, they don't want to share that knowledge with you because they had to go through those same losses to get where they're at.
Yeah.
Me, I have people hit me up all the time like, hey, how do you do A, B, and C? I'm like, all right, first thing you need to do is forget everything you already learned. I'm going to tell you the right way to do this.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Things like that.
And you made me think of something too. Is like, as far as the music side of things and cost and all those stuff, we're just gonna
Man down.
I watched that happen in slow motion.
I know it's so much slower.
I have front row seat.
I saw your face. You were like,
Now I'm like,
Everything always shows up on my face, so I probably was like, what's gonna happen?
you got a little bit on me, but
And scene.
I'll survive. Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm just.
You're good.
I'm sure it'll drop down slowly.
I don't know what is
I-
going
is that
on.
already going
The
down?
mics just don't like us today.
I don't know.
At least yours works.
Right? You're just acting it out.
I just stopped using it as a problem. Like, whatever, girl.
Oh man.
So thinking of a song as your one product, because obviously it's one product.
It is.
that you have to market, right?
Right.
So you think of normal products, we'll say like the GoPro right there, right?
Yeah.
Whoever patented that, put that together, was like, I have a brilliant idea. I'm gonna make a GoPro. Again, I'll be generous. It's like, I just threw down $1,000 to make this amazing GoPro that hopefully someone will invest.
Right.
We do that like 4,000 times in creating a song.
Yeah, I know.
We invest that $1,000
Every time we do it. Right.
every single time. Like our product is like, we have like millions of, well, I wouldn't say millions, but like hundreds of
We
products.
do. We do. We
Hundreds of
hundreds
individual products.
Right. It's,
That we have to try to sell to people.
I've
Not
never-
just like the iPad, just
I've
like,
never thought of it that way.
That's a
You're
good- yeah, that's a
so
good way to
right.
break it
so like,
You're so
you
right.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all they had, like, you know, when you
We
made
have
the
this
iPhone.
one item that we need to put all of our effort into.
Yeah.
We're like, I do this every month with different products.
Hundreds. And that's just music.
Right.
We're not going to talk about merch. We're not going to talk about
Right.
a show.
Right.
You know.
There's so many different other avenues. Right. You know,
And then they wonder why we're exhausted.
it's just, and like, yo, when it comes to the business side, like, so Pete, if you don't understand social media platforms, because all of them operate differently in the way to engage with people, the way you do it on, say, Twitter isn't going to work on Facebook. The way you do it on IG isn't going to work on YouTube. All of these have their own certain things. Let's not even talk about the algorithm. But you're going to literally need to understand how marketing works. You're going to need to understand how campaigns work, what the objectives are, where's your target audience. Like, these are just super basic things you're going to have to understand. Otherwise, you're just going to throw fucking money at it. And it's never going to get you what you want. And that's a pain in the ass too, because I've had to do that. You know what I mean? Because you try to learn what the platforms are, and then like as soon as you figure it out, you're like, haha, I cracked the code. They're like, yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We know you cracked the code. We're gonna switch it up
change
again
it
now.
Yeah.
And I've literally seen that happen where out of nowhere, I think it was on Facebook, I keep getting these messages at the end of every week, and it was like, congratulations, you have increased visibility.
Oh,
I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, right?
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Exactly. I didn't start getting that until like a month ago, and I'm like, you son of a bitch, you've been showing my shit to more people for no reason other than the fact that you felt like changing the algorithm for me.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you don't like something I put out there, you're gonna reverse it, and the algorithm is gonna crunch me to death.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They change it all the time because like I remember like putting it more simplistically. It was like you should put your hashtags in the caption, and then it was like no, you need to put it in the first comment,
Right.
and then they switched it back and
They use stuff like that.
And then you have all these bots, so it's like now.
We have one person to hate for all of this, really, and it's well, in my opinion, it's the guy who made begins with a P. It's very popular. I forget what it's called. I forget, but anyways, he went
what type of is it a product?
I forget now. I watched a documentary on it.
So I was gonna say Porsche. That's the only P that I could think of.
Mhm.
I feel like that's definitely not it.
But he
really.
hold on. What is it? It was people used to just put like tons of pictures up there for no reason, and they used to like Pinterest.
Oh,
Is it Pinterest?
No, there was Pinterest, and then
Yeah,
there was
Pinterest.
there was
That's what
another
it is.
one.
That's
too.
what it is. It's Pinterest. Him. He's the guy. Him and Mark Zuckerberg spoke, and was like, oh, how do I make money on my platform? And this dude was the dude who created. Well, why don't we just like make people pay for advertisement space? And then thus that's how the algorithm gets born. Because if you pay Facebook to put your shit in front of more people, then the algorithm is going to be adjusted to work in your favor. If you're not paying, they're going to tell you to F off.
Right.
And he was the dude who came up with that idea. So we hate him.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. I just wish there was, honestly, I wish there was less interest in social media. I wish there was much less.
I wish
Not even from a
your
music
level of
standpoint.
success was separate. Was not what's the word I'm looking for? Determined by what your social media presence is.
Right.
Oh, you mean like the girl who works at Chick-fil-A but has 118,000 followers?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's just blasted into the algorithm because she has 118,000
Correct.
followers and
Correct.
can post
Right.
every single day and
Right. I hate it for two reasons. One, the instant gratification thing. I hate the fact that we're not social. We hide behind our keyboards.
yeah.
It gives people the ability to just say whatever comes to their mind without repercussions. Because when I was growing up, if you said some shit, you get punched in the
hit in the
face.
jaw, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't do that no more because you could be in friggin' Des Moines, Iowa, talking shit to me.
Yeah.
So I hate it because of that aspect, just the social aspect of how we interact as human beings, and how these kids nowadays are literally being like their social skills are being shortened. You know what I mean? They don't know how.
It's
They
terrible.
don't know how to. They don't know how to communicate.
Can't hold a conversation like we're doing right now.
Can't-
We've been doing this for what, hour and a half?
And it's
So?
flying
Oh,
by.
really?
Yeah. See,
Probably.
Wow.
But yeah, they can't hold a conversation. They don't know how to handle emotions.
No.
Everybody, they all have or think they have some kind of a mental illness, instability, which when it's really you're just not getting your way, bro. Like that's it. You didn't get your way.
Yeah, that's all it is.
That's it. You lost. You took an L. And then as far as like the music part, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And I remember being like really young when I saw this, and it was when Napster was big. I was so young.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was either, I want to say maybe it was like one of the guys in Metallica who was the person who was most vocal about it, and he was like, this is going to be the death of the music industry, and he was pissed off because he wasn't getting any money every time somebody downloaded his songs. And I remember being like, dude, fuck you, you're a millionaire.
Yeah, right? What are you complaining
You
about?
can't afford a couple of like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm just like, this dude was so right.
Yeah.
This dude was so right.
He was on the ball.
He was literally on the money when he was like, boom, that's it. That's the death of the music industry. And in a lot of ways, that's exactly what's happened because, again, you get watered down product.
Yeah.
And the other issue is that there's like not enough money to go around as far as, who's getting paid and who's getting paid what. Because everybody's a rapper and a singer
Different
now.
tier and all this other stuff.
And
Yeah.
a model and a photographer and a
Of course.
social media is so dangerous. I feel like just like for our mental health, if we're not being mindful of it because you're constantly comparing yourself. Again, if you're not being mindful, then you're accidentally comparing yourself or like watching people live this beautiful life. And it's like, well, that's not real because what you're watching is just someone's best moments that they've decided to show you.
That's it.
And like, I think
It's a
that,
highlight reel.
yes, exactly. Like, I think it promotes like like this disposability thing with people, because it's like, oh well, if you don't want to talk to me, I'm not gonna even have a conversation with you and tell you I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm just gonna stop and I'm gonna go talk to somebody else because I have so and so in my DMs, or like you go through your feed and there's 50,000 people, so I
can just move on to the next person.
Yes, it like kills so many different things. It's really
true.
dangerous.
When I open what is it? The Explore page? Is that what it is on IG?
Yes.
Listen, I'm gonna say this, and my girl's gonna watch this. I'll get back to that in a second. On my like homepage, like when I scroll through like who I follow and shit like that, it's just like hip hop music, music, photo, video. Like that's all it is. It's just a bunch of music for whatever reason. When I go to my Explore page, it's nothing but fat asses and titties. I have no idea why.
Right.
I've never liked it. I never like scroll Instagram and I'm like, damn, fat booty. Like.
Yeah, right.
Like,
They come on my For You page too, and a straight female. And
why am I being shown this shit all the time? I was thinking to myself, yo, if I was a girl, I'd hate myself.
Yeah.
Hi.
Right? it's like, but now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I know what to look for, and I'm like, oh, that's the injection spot that went into her ass. That's why it looks like she's got two fucking Christmas hams fighting over a milk dud for a booty. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, like
that's true to you, right?
It's a fact though. It's like, you know, like these chicks that I see on social media.
Oh, it's terrible.
I don't even, they're like not even attractive to me. I'm like, yo, everything about you is fake. Your nose is fake. Your lips are fake. Your eyelashes are fake.
Picture is fake.
Yeah, like the shit has been photoshopped to death. Like I know Photoshop. I know what Photoshop looks like.
Yeah.
Like they went in there and they just slightly, you know, brushed out the curve in your ass and they took out all this and straightened that up. And now you have a flat, like I know how all that shit works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, it's so superficial is what it is. I'm like, damn, girl, you're literally half naked on the internet where anyone in the universe.
They get all the followers.
Yeah, like, and that's what you're doing because you want a bunch of likes.
That's all it is.
That's
that
also
gratification.
tricky too when you start to find validation
False sense
on
of
social media. That's really, really tricky.
That's why I put in finish what I started. I'd rather feel love from someone who has my back than from someone who was scrolling and they might have double tapped.
Facts.
That's a
I can do
Plain
the
and
whole thing.
simple.
I can just do this.
Like I said before, I still want to do that social experiment. I want to put up a picture. I want to put up a caption that says basically towards the bottom, if you like this, you have failed this experiment.
Ha! Yo!
Type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yo! You'd get like, let's just say 83 people would like it and 4 people would be like, oh, I saw what you did there.
Yeah.
You'd have
but I would love to
shit
see
ton
the
of people.
number.
Yo,
I would love to see the number.
The number would be astronomical. You'd have maybe a handful of people who would comment and say, ha, I saw what you did. And then you would just have a bunch of other people who would hit like and drop a fire emoji.
Yeah. And they would. Yeah. I'm telling you, I want to do that too. And it'll be a good picture. It won't be whatever.
I get it. It's going to be a highlight reel photo. But like all they're really doing is they're liking something in hopes that it comes back their way.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
That's all it is.
I like their shit. They're gonna like my shit.
True.
Okay, I've liked 50 people's shit today. Okay, I'm gonna get at least 50 likes. Like I know that's what people are doing in their head.
Because that's what marketing people tell you to do. Like Adam Ivey, like one of the things that he says is like when you go through like and trying to be president on Instagram, one of the things he says is like you should like a certain number of pictures and stuff and comment so many times a day or whatever. And I'm like, dude, first of all, that's exhausting.
It is.
And then second of all, like I don't have time for that. And then 3, like it's exactly what you said. It's hopefully it's reciprocated. And it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. I mean,
because no one's doing it consistently for weeks on end. Like I get through like 2 days and I'm like, nah, forget this.
Right.
I have more important things to do.
You would have to be consistent as a motherfucker. And honestly, and I've been telling people this recently who have been hitting me up because I had a couple of like youngins hit me up. Hey man, I just started out. Do you have any advice? Oh, you're about bet.
Right here we go.
How many notebooks you got?
Right.
I got advice for dudes.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. Yeah.
I told him, I'm like, yo, and I think we touched on it at the beginning. I'm like, I think we're gonna start to fall into more of like a community-based space where each artist has like their own little universe. I was like, your best bet is to communicate with people. You know, if you're new to this thing, explore. Like, try to find other producers. Try to find other people who are like you, and then try to find people who like them, and and see if there's something on their page that resonates with you and comment on it. Like, be social. Like, that's what you're on, a social media app. And a lot of the times people can tell if you're just copy and pasting or if you're actually being sincere in your verbiage.
Right.
And if you're sincere with what you're saying, it's going to resonate with them, and then you're going to make a genuine connection. And you know what?
Right.
Because you made that genuine connection, if in fact you put out something that's a music product, they're going to go and check it out.
Right.
So, if that's how you want to, like, and there's a way you can look at it. You can be like, well, if I'm wicked nice, if you could, you could take that approach, and you could, you could be cynical about it.
I see what you did there.
And you could be like, well, if I do this, then this is, ultimately what I'll get in return is a bunch of people who are thinking that I'm being,
trying to reciprocate.
Right, like I'm actually being genuine, but they're the like, because they're actually going to be the genuine ones.
Yeah.
But that's not a good way to approach it. It's a short-term failed experiment, because eventually you're going to run out of steam.
Right.
But I personally have, like, especially on Instagram, because Facebook, my artist page, they don't let you be social with anyone. All you can do is post and then reply to if somebody says some shit.
Right.
But at least on IG, I can, like, interact with other people, and I have, like, really good conversations with a lot of my fans.
Right.
And they'll, like, hit me up just to tell me about their day.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I got this one dude who just loves to go mountain biking. Like, that's the thing that he likes to do. And every once in a while, he'll, like, put a song of mine in his reel, and I'll reach out to him and I'll be like, yo, thanks, man. Where did you go today? What did you see? What was it like? Because I'm genuinely interested in what you were doing. And and because of the algorithm, if you hadn't tagged my music in it, I likely never would have seen that post.
Right.
But now we're going to have a conversation, and how's everything going?
Yeah, I have one dude, like, it's either usually like, hey, like, we should, play COD together.
Done that.
Play Call of Duty, stuff
done
like
that.
that. Here's my tag name, whatever.
Yep.
Sometimes he'll throw some bars, and then we'll just, like, go back and forth, kind of like rap battle,
Yep.
do the thing, whatever, or just, just having a conversation. But it's like, it's, maybe once a week, twice a week or something.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, like, just whatever. Or he'll, like, send me a screenshot of, like, a song that he was listening to, and I'm like, dude, that's dope.
Yeah.
And, like, having those genuine connections too, like, that person's gonna tell, like, 20 of their friends to go to your show or something like that.
It's what happens
when it's real.
When they know it's
people
real.
can tell if you're
People can tell if you're just, like, trying to chat them up.
exactly.
Right.
If you're just putting fire emojis in, that's dope. Like, there's no value to it. But if you're actually putting sentences and thoughtful, thoughts into it, then it's like, okay, this person is actually taking time away from whatever it is that they're doing, to actually hold a conversation.
Right, they're giving you their time. That's huge, because once you waste time, you can never get it back. Right?
Yeah.
It's not like money.
Right.
If I spend $5, I can go make $5.
Right.
But with time, once you've given that up, that's it. Boom. So if somebody gives me their time, I'm going to value that.
Yeah.
It gives value.
It does.
So essentially, like, you lose the time, but, like, you've also added some sort of value.
Right.
Again, when it's genuine, you add value to that, because it's like, okay, like you said, you give that, and then they're like, hey, like, man, check this dude out. Like, I just had a dope conversation with them. See what they're about. And then it's like, bing, 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 bing.
And then you never know whose life you're impacting the most.
That's actually the reason why I came to this podcast today. So
minus my template. Template. Hey, what's up?
I knew it. Yeah, but I knew the reason why you had to do that. You know what I mean? But in the last, like, couple of months, I've had a lot of different podcasts hit me up, but it's been so random, and there hasn't been any kind of genuine connection. It's like, what I think they did, and this is just me, because I'm trying to think like them, or how I would approach it in their scenario. But what I think they did is they saw my page, they probably saw that it has a decent following, and didn't listen to the music at all. I know you didn't listen to the music at all, because you messaged me 4 seconds after you followed me.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And, everything was about you and nothing was about me. Hey, bro, I have this podcast. I do this. 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 I do this.
Yeah.
I would like to have you on because I would. And I just ignored him.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of those, because ultimately I think what they're trying to do is, for some reason, they think that if I'm on their podcast, that all, X amount of followers I have all at the same time are all going to go watch your podcast.
Right.
Which is never going to happen.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
But the reason I wanted to do this podcast, when you hit me up about it, And it did take me a while because I completely forgot all about it. And I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But because we've had genuine conversations, I think the first time we met was at Terms Album Release Party. Yeah, and that was...
Because y'all did the grind mode before.
Right.
And we were downstairs, it's a 603 Bar and Grill now.
Yes. It was in like Manchester.
Yeah.
It was. And I remember you talking about you wanted to do a music video and it had to do with a plane and an airstrip or something.
Yeah, Coach.
There it is.
Coach. Yeah.
There it is. So
which I didn't have the budget for, so I was like, all right, here we go. But trying to figure out.
But we had like a genuine connection. We chopped it up. I was like, I was genuinely interested to like, what are you up to? What do you do? Like, what is your thing?
We've talked about features in the past.
Right.
We've
just had genuine conversations, or sometimes, you could post something big, haha, that's funny. But like, I'm being serious. It's haha funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we've had genuine conversations. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you're some random person that I don't know, I don't know what you're up to, what you're about. Like, you're not going to get my attention by just giving me a sales pitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and even with that template, I was very strategic with that. Like, I didn't just go into my messages or like my followers and be like, send.
You're right.
Like, I was like, I know these people. I've had genuine conversations with them, or I see what they're doing, and I know that they're gonna have a genuine conversation when they come through.
Right.
And again, we've had that we've had multiple conversations. I've told you about songs that I wanted you on, why I wanted you on it, what the song was about, what the intent of it was.
Right.
So it's like we've had those intellectual conversations. So I was very strategic with it and just
and
like, okay, these
be.
people,
but like, can you imagine, like, you guys are artists, you just like do going about your day, having a ham sandwich, and you get this fucking 83 paragraph from some random person you've never delete exactly.
I wouldn't even read that.
I don't read it.
Because it's like, bro, I know nothing about you. And again, I know you did not do any research whatsoever. Right. Clearly, like...
It's like what you just said to me, I know it's automated. And I know you're saying that to like 300 other people a day.
That's exactly what it is. And like, the follower thing, I am going to pay attention to that to some degree. Because if you're just some dude on a whim trying to build up your page and you think you're going to use me by making that happen, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to throw you a bone. I don't know you, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like, have a genuine conversation. It's different because I've had other people who either want to work with me or want to do like some kind of an interview, but they have the common decency to be like, hey, what's good, bro? And there's not a huge paragraph to go after it. It's, hey, what's good, bro? Hey, I'm just finding you for the first time, and I dig this, I dig that. Would you want to sit down and have a conversation about what you're working on, and I can kind of show you how how this podcast works? And okay, cool. You gave me a real message. Bet. Yeah, let's talk.
Right.
Yeah, let's talk.
It's not an automate or just a script, almost like a scripted thing, like where it's like, hey, I'm sure you get them too. It's like, do you want 15,000 followers? And it's like, dude, like if I were to even reply to this, like it would just be another
automated message.
Another kind of automated template.
Here's our Cash App. As soon as you send it, you will get instant followers.
Yeah, like when you come at me with, like if you pay such and such money, we'll get you this or we'll do this for you. Like no,
you won't.
No, you won't.
No, you won't.
No.
And this actually just popped into my head because this happened to me recently. I am totally willing to talk about my L's, right? Not everything I do is a W. And this is one of the tough learning lessons that I had to go through recently. So Spotify playlisting. Obviously, people want to get on Spotify playlists, right? Because so we've established that. Now, so I've been working with a publicist in the past, and me and my manager reached out to her, and she basically said, I'd like to get you in more publications, and I'd like to do this, but there's always a but your numbers aren't great. And I'm like, what do you mean my numbers aren't great? Well, you don't have a lot of monthly listeners on Spotify. Okay, that's the only thing you looked at. Whatever. I was just willing to ignore that. Like, that's the thing you're looking at? All right, fine, bet.
Right.
In her, I don't even know what her definition is, and I couldn't even tell you how many I have, maybe a few thousand, but they're real.
Yeah, right.
Okay. They're real.
Let's clarify that too as well.
I was just listening to your music and I thought it said thousands.
Yeah.
Monthly, and I was like, oh, good for that
Thank
person.
you. Right. And I'm going to get to that part in a second.
Sorry.
So she links me to somebody, and I'm not going to put him on blast because he was a writer for some of these magazines that we've grown up reading.
Yeah.
So he's established, and I was like, because of that, I'm like, I literally know who this is because I've read articles by this person.
Right.
Well, long and the short, that was one of the things that they offered, and it was, you know, to help you increase your listeners on Spotify. And I talked to him, my manager talked to him, we had things put into writing, like we did the whole shebang. And I was like, okay, everything seems okay. And the minute the promotion started to kick off, I looked at my analytics because you have the Spotify for Artists thing that you can look at.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can tell you this. I can tell you that my fan base is not 87% women. I can tell you that right away.
Yeah.
Right. So it flipped. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was to pull it up on my phone right now, just to make a number easy, it would be like 90% guys, 10% female.
Yeah.
It's the type of music I make.
Similar to mine, yeah.
Right. And I can assure you that my most listened to demographic isn't 18 to 24 because it's not.
No way.
It's like 23 to 27, and then even when you get up a little bit higher into like the 30, 35 range.
Yeah.
But like 23, 27 is like that. I know that's my sweet spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so then why is 68% of the people now 18 to 24?
Right.
And okay, if my music is being spun so heavily in the United States, why is it mainly in Chicago and Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, and then like San Antonio, Texas? Like why these only two areas? What about the rest of the United States?
Right.
So I'm like, none of this shit adds
48 of
none of this shit adds up. Because I'm used to, when I put out music, I understand my analytics and I know where my music is going to be heard, and I know if it's heard in another country, I can already predict what city or what region it's going to be because this is where they're located. So when I started seeing all this shit within a couple of days, I hit my manager. I'm like, bro, something's not right.
Yeah.
You know, she talks to him, he keeps assuring her everything's okay. And I'm like, nah. And then all of a sudden I wake up one day, and you know at the bottom of your page it like recommends other artists who are similar to you. All of a sudden it's gone. That was like the final nail in the coffin because what Spotify does is it takes all that information. Like for instance, if I always like listen to Nas and I always listen to J Faith.
Yeah.
Okay, well maybe it'll like show me like Locksmith. You know, I like lyricists.
Right.
But all that shit's gone now. It doesn't exist because the algorithm that they're using is basically saying, okay, it's all bots. We don't have any information. These people don't exist. And so I reached out to a company and I said, can you do a Spotify health check for me? And they were like, unfortunately, they're all bots, every single one of them. And then they showed me the graphs that they were able to pull. And they were like, you see how, like, if you look here, there's a spike and then there's a dip. There's a spike and then there's a dip. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, that's what happens when a bot's running because they can tell it what time to play it and then stop, play it, stop, play it, stop. And so I hit the dude up and I'm like, you're lucky you're all the way out in LA, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So from a number standpoint, it looked wicked fucking cool. Hey, look at all these, Spotify listeners. Look at all these people I
It doesn't
have.
even count though.
And it doesn't, right. And that's the other part. When I got paid for it, because you ultimately get paid, right?
Yeah.
When I got paid for it, the numbers didn't make sense either. So like you look at it, and I think the average is somewhere like 0.0034 per stream on Spotify.
Yeah, that's something crazy.
All right, cool. So you multiply that out by X, and I'm like, where's the rest of my fucking money? Well, there isn't any because it wasn't real humans listening to your shit.
Right.
This is what you actually got paid, and the rest of it was botted. So you really didn't get paid for any of that.
Some homeboy sitting in his basement just hitting.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Facts.
On one computer blasting out to 50,000.
100%, like a streaming farm. So I'm like, I bet. So the way I look at it, I'm like, I would rather have 100 real listeners than 50,000 fake ones.
Yeah.
Any day of the week, right? Or like you go to somebody's social media page and you can tell that something, doesn't add up.
Oh, 100%.
You got 50,000 followers, but you got
Like 13 likes on something.
like maybe 15 people interacted with what you posted, and then I pull your other numbers from everywhere else. I can look at your Twitter, I can look at your YouTube, I can look at your Spotify, I can look at all these numbers and make a comparison, and I can say, yeah, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 in this situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Something's off. And that's when the person has either been scammed or they're just bullshitting for attention, which is also annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I know y'all see it.
Oh, all the time. All the
Right?
time. It's
I mean,
crazy.
it's just the world we live in now.
Yeah.
You know, people equate success to followers, and it's like,
And that's what we were talking about earlier. It's like I hate that your level of success is determined by the number of people that you have on social media, because a lot of the times the numbers are false.
they are.
Right.
They are. And
A lot of the time.
There's a lot of producers I've worked with. Who's this? Oh, it's my brother.
That's
Nah,
what
he
my
can
mom-
get it. He can get it. He didn't give birth to me. I told him I'd call him back earlier, and he he didn't get the memo, and now he's FaceTiming me. But like there was a producer the other day who had randomly found me. I have no idea, but he hits me up and he's like, "Yo, I think I make beats that you'll like." I hear this a lot, and I'm like, "All right, I'll play ball," because I hear this a lot. I hear this a lot, and but then he's like, "Yeah, I listened to this song and I listened to," and I'm like, he might actually have something I like.
Yeah.
So he sends me a couple of snippets, and I'm like, one of them catches my ear, and I'm listening, and I'm just like, this one's kind of dope. And he's from England, and you know, the UK is still, they love that golden era type hip hop still. So there's a lot of guys who still make it.
100%.
Dude's got like, I don't know, 215 followers, makes dope ass fucking beats. Dope ass fucking beats.
Just a diamond.
Yeah, just.
in there.
But then there's, you know, there's that asshole who's on Instagram with 49,000 followers who makes crap, but he's got a ton of followers. You know what I mean? So it doesn't equal success. It doesn't mean talent. It really doesn't mean shit.
No, it doesn't.
You know what I mean?
I've had people that have hit me up. They're like, "Yeah, I've listened to your music. It's so dope. I have EDM and pop beats for you. What do you?" I'm like,
What?
I'm like, "No, you didn't. No, I kid you not.
Like, you
the next
definitely-
time I get one, I'll screenshot and show you."
I'm like, who?
They're like, "Oh, listen, your music is so dope. I got some like fire country beats." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Ain't a dog named
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? Like, no.
I think my favorite copy and paste message, and I've figured this one out, is, "Yo, your music's fire, bro. You got mad potential."
Yeah.
That's so
I've seen that one
condescending.
too. Yeah. I get that one
That's
a lot.
an opening line in a message.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's the line. And then before I respond, because I've noticed this is a trend that's been going on for fucking months, you'll go to their page and they won't have a lot of posts, or they'll have a lot of posts, but their page has only had posts for like the last 3 weeks. Might look like they have a lot of following.
Like
and
brand new page.
they'll take somebody's name that's like a writer for a big magazine, and they'll add like an underscore. And you won't really know unless you're looking for that. And it's like, you son of a bitch, you're really trying to hustle me right now for like a few $100 because you're from the Source magazine.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
get the
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
out of
So
here.
to speak. So a lot
Yeah,
of people
Like
are-
co-writer from the source.
Yeah.
You're like, no, you're not.
Right, like I just block them.
That is not the bio that you would have.
It's not because I know some of the writers from the Source, and they don't even mention it in their bio. They just want to be left the fuck alone.
Right. They don't want to be reached out
Yeah.
to. They probably get that all the time.
Exactly.
That's the last thing that they
And
want.
like you would go to their page and you would think, oh, if they write for like a big magazine, they have a crazy following. They don't.
No,
They don't, bro. And a lot of their profiles are private because they don't want to be bothered.
Right.
Yeah.
But just to be a dick, because I like to be a dick sometimes, I've let the conversation go for a little while, and then I'll screenshot it and I'll put it in my story.
Yeah.
And then I'll tag them and I'll be like, yo, make this motherfucker famous. And then they'll delete their page.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I get like 5 of those a month.
It's insane.
I can see them coming from a mile away. Or the one where
It's always after a post for me.
Who was it who called out? Oh my God, is that J Plus? It was him.
Probably.
It was him. He was calling out rappers who were doing it and shit. There was like Pat Poose was doing it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Remember that? And he was calling them out, and he was on the phone with like their managers or whatever. They like admitted it. Yeah, okay. We have somebody in the background who's sending out random DMs, and if you pay X amount of dollars, we'll put you on a mixtape.
I had somebody, who was it? I think it was A Boogie with the hoodie, was coming to Lowell. He was touring or whatever. And somebody had emailed me or messaged me and was like, oh, we'll pay you. Like, and I always like research before I ever respond to anything.
Got to.
Because they were like, yeah, we have like opening slots. We've listened to your music.
Oh,
We'd
here
love
we
to
go.
have you in Lowell.
We have
I
an
was like,
opening slot. I love that line.
yeah, like we'll pay you $2,500, like this, that, and the other thing. So like I'm looking, like I'm following, I'm trying to do my due diligence on it. I Facebook, Instagram, anybody that emails me. I'm like,
Twitter,
if
Google,
you have
LinkedIn, let's go.
anything like, and I'm looking like this person has like a private page. They have like 200 followers. I'm like, you're supposed to be a promoter for
You don't have a
for a promoter.
Yeah,
You
don't
should
have a
be
private
a
page.
little bit more public.
Yeah,
than
very.
that.
You should be very public.
So I was like, all right, let me, like, they had the tour, they had the flyer. Bro, that thing just
I was gonna
loves to
say
be
that.
there. Had the flyer, everything.
This could talk. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So
Things it would say.
So I find the actual tour page, and it was like, I think it was like full blast booking and like a couple other different things that were all, you know, in
Yep.
cahoots in putting the tour together.
Yep.
So I found all their emails, and I was like, here's like just an email blast to you guys. I was like, hey, there's somebody that has sent me this. I'm like, is this real? Because like, one, this would be pretty dope if I could get on this.
Yeah.
Just to have a presence in Lowell. It was at the
Yeah.
Songus Center. I'm like,
Yep.
let's do it. But I was like, let me find out. And they were like, no.
Yeah.
Completely
Complete
fake.
bullshit because that's not how it works.
Yeah, I sent the screenshots. They were like, send us a screenshot. I'm like, here's a screenshot. Here's the email. Everything. They're like,
Right.
nah.
I've done the
There's
same.
no way.
Who was it? It was one of the writers. What is the place called? The Shade Room. Do people even still pay attention to that fucking thing anymore? The Shade Room or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know what you're talking about, but
Right, but he's written for like, you know, other big magazines and other publications and whatever. So people are always like impersonating him or whatever. I actually found him because I got tired of getting so many messages from people like saying they were him, and I was like, hey bro, you don't know me from a hole in the wall.
Right.
Screenshot. Just giving you the heads up. Somebody's trying to like, you know, do A, B, and C. Well, now we talk sometimes. We have a good relationship.
Right, exactly. Sometimes you're kind of like, maybe if I throw you a little.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that coming. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, this dude's actually a pretty cool guy. I'm glad I told him that somebody was being a dick.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah,
Just
I mean,
being real.
but that's not honestly. Yeah, you're not gonna get like a legitimate sales pitch on an Instagram with a cash offer.
No.
Like it's just right. Like you laugh because you're like, yeah, no, because that's not how.
It's just not.
Right.
real.
wouldn't that be nice?
Right, because
Yeah, that would
you
be
have
nice,
a
but
phone
that's
call
not-
is what happens. You might even have a video phone call, and
Right.
And that's not even the first time that the deal is dropped either. Like you just having the phone call.
you're just having a conversation.
Yeah, they're not like
That's it.
It's not first phone call. Hey, we'd love to throw you a deal. It's like, hey, like we're really thinking about some things. Like,
Right.
We'd love to. Like this is just a phone call to give you another phone call. Like
That's exactly what it
We're
is.
thinking about things, and we'd love to have a full on conversation with you. When are you free?
I just had that last week, and I was skeptical. But then they had mentioned somebody's name that I know, and I'm like,
Yeah, you kind of.
So I hit them up, and I'm like, hey yo, screenshot.
Right, hey,
Screenshot.
Better to check because
And I'm like, did you get invited to, you know, perform here? And they're like, let me check my email. Yep, got the contract this morning, and I'm like, all I needed to know.
yeah.
I was like, hey, how you doing? So anyways,
enough,
you were
right?
saying?
Let's continue.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, cool, that sounds great. Send me that same contract. You know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just gotta check
unfortunately,
now. Unfortunately, you have to check now. 'cause
Yeah.
you have to.
scam you. People just out to scam you.
100%, man. Everybody's out to fucking get $1, and everybody's gonna try and scam you. So again, it really goes back to having those genuine connections,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to you know, like promoters and things like that. You know, somebody like a Leeds. You know, Leeds was great for people in Boston hip hop for
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
ever. You wanted an opportunity? All right, I'll give you one.
Right.
You know.
If you do well, you'll probably get another. You might get another one.
Right. Yeah, I'll give you a look. If you want another look, cool. Show me what's going on with this penis mic. Anyway,
The silver lever.
Is it the?
is that what it is?
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
type
Is it the?
as we're nearing the end of
Right.
it.
Yeah, fix it.
Well,
now.
now it's fixed. But what time is it?
Not almost 9:30.
Woo! Time,
Yeah.
time flies by, bro.
Right.
It
Yeah.
does.
Seriously.
We
That's what I'm
had
saying. That's what I
some
love.
awesome topics. Like
yeah.
this was great. We
Yeah,
talked
we
about
talked
great
about
stuff.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
So much of it.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't even intro the pod either.
No?
We just went right to it.
Did
We
we?
just
Yeah, we
No
just went
shit.
right to it. I just let it ride. I'm like, you know what? I ain't even gonna break up this conversation. We just gonna keep going.
Why not?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's that easy.
I
Yeah.
clocked that like halfway in, and I was like, all right.
Yeah. If I reach a certain point, I'm like, I'm just not. Like, there's
Yeah.
no point. Let's just keep.
Welcome to the Right Mind Podcast.
Yeah, I just do it at the end. Yeah, exactly. I just do it at the end. Well, in case you were paying attention, this is the Right Mind 16
Yeah.
podcast.
I totally have a face for radio.
Yeah, exactly. See, he knows. He knows. Well, I really want to thank you, man. This has been
I will come back any fucking time you copy and paste me a message.
He's like, that is a template I will answer.
You have so much potential. We're just wondering if you would come on.
Onto the podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I will pay that $150 deposit to go.
Exactly. Non-refundable.
Facts.
By the way.
No, 100%. And it's Cash App only.
Right. Cash App
We
only.
also want to sign you to Def Jam. And I also have
Obviously,
connections to
because
LA
that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I will absolutely, if you guys ever want me to come back
Oh,
on
100%.
here, 100% we'll drive 2 hours or whatever it took me down.
Thank you.
Here. Yes, I make it a point.
I try to have more people.
When I say I'm gonna be somewhere, I make it a point to make sure I'm there. I know when it comes to music, a lot of people fucking flake on everything last minute. They have every excuse in the book. Oh, I got a flat tire. I got into a car accident. I sprained my tonsils. Whatever it is. You know what I mean?
No, it's true though. It's true.
I am dead.
Yeah.
So
No, definitely not.
I'm using that. I'm like, damn.
I sprained my tonsils.
I use that all the time. You know, spray my tonsils.
Just to see if they pay attention too.
Right.
They actually-
Explosive
oh
diarrhea.
man, that sucks. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. You're like,
My fingernails exploded.
yeah, did you even read the damn message? Yeah. Spontaneously.
I've been dealing with a
combusted, I
paper
can't
cut,
make
bro. I can't walk.
it. Yeah.
You know, the air stings my finger.
It's true though.
But yeah, man, I like what you guys
Appreciate
got
it.
going on here. I wish
Appreciate
there was more. Wish there was more.
Substance.
Yeah, I wish there was just more stuff like this out here where
Yeah.
people just had regular, normal ass, conversation, chill, kicked it, dropped some knowledge,
That's all it's all about.
just talk to humans.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, I haven't looked at my phone. Well, I mean, I glanced, but
But,
shit
yeah.
like- I haven't been checking it every time there was a commercial on TV or playing online poker or looking at porn or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't even.
Was that really
laugh at
mom?
that. I can't not laugh at that.
Shout out to mom.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, Mom.
Shout out to my mom. My mom.
Not nearly as much porn as last time.
Right. But yeah, man, seriously, I appreciate you guys. Anything
sure.
I could do to help push the podcast,
Absolutely.
forward.
So we're gonna need all your followers to start liking
Obviously.
us. And
If I
and
tell
then
them
we'll be
to, there's a fair majority. There's like a fair amount who will literally go do that.
good. Yeah.
So if you want me to, just copy and paste it and send it.
I got you.
But yeah, man, this was
anytime.
great. This was
Anytime.
great. I'm definitely coming back, even if you don't invite me.
Yeah, I always try to have people because I feel like there's so much to talk. Like we can talk on and have a conversation on. Like she's been here like 3 times. He eventually became the co-host.
Right, right.
She's now just always here. So it's
The
like
co-host, the co-host. There you go. There's your new name, the co-host.
so you know what I'm saying. So it's like and it's always a new conversation every time.
Right. Yeah, because you never know who you're gonna sit down with and chop it up with.
Right.
What they're gonna want to talk about.
And it's always something new. Even like having the same people. Like we're just like, all right, let's just dive deep into this other rabbit hole for another hour and a half.
Right, because
It's cool.
this is what we used to do. We used to talk. We used to have conversation. We used to communicate in person.
Connections through conversations. That's what this whole thing is about.
Love it. Dope.
Yes, sir. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Let's actually introduce everybody.
Let's go.
Welcome to the
We gotta go backwards to go forwards.
I'm L.Y.F.E. This is Jay Faith. This is Kayla Shank, and we got Sinical on the.
You did a beautiful
At the
job.
very
Thank
end.
Right.
What's that?
you. You did a beautiful job.
I
Thank
feel
you.
like with some creative editing, that could be the beginning.
That's
You
true.
know?
That's very
Like,
true. That's very true.
Or you could just be like,
It'll be the beginning.
Let's not lie to
You'll
these
see like a
people.
little skit, and then
yeah. No, I like it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
I'm with it.
You know what I mean? We did something different today.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Appreciate all of y'all. MOCG, 41st Studios. Appreciate everything. One more time, thank you to Sinical for being here sitting down. Make sure you follow Sinical. Check everything out. You're going to see his tags and everything in the bio as well as right on the screen so you can't miss it. Appreciate everybody one last time. But until next time, this is the Right Minds Wednesday podcast. We'll see you soon.
peace out.
What's up?